around the area, and you can always catch those people inside of boot camp. It just makes me happy. Like, they'll go and they'll fight it out, kind of like how school goes down, and then there's like one team, they make their way out, just pop them and then take all the loot that they spent all that time trying to collect.
Yep, for sure. I like the docks area. It's just cool. Being able to loot on the boats out there. I mean, I know it's off to the side. You're going to probably have a long haul back into the middle of the map, but just a cool kind of vibe of an area. You can check out with a few streamers, just pop around, see who's dropping in where. Got a lot of people heading northeast right now.
We got Krindor and Gmart there going back and bringing some WoW into this. Over here with the Bear Chew Live. And you gotta love the hat. I just love the hat, man.
The hat is incredible, and he's very, very live. So that's what we need. All these guys are streaming. If you see someone, you're like, that guy looks cool. I want to see more of him. Oh, why'd they cut away from the guy with the bear hat? Bear Jew Live's streaming right now on Twitch. Go check him out. But here, jumping in, the shorty there.
You can see all the communication coming in. They're focused down, and they're actually going to drop directly into the caves to get started on this. Oh, well, maybe not.
Man,
now here comes the risk. Is he going to jump?
It looks like
you can die off of that jump.
He doesn't look like he's died up in the kill feed yet, though. Sequisha's already been gunned down. No! I want to know how Sequisha died. Someone go clip it on his stream and send it to us. Hashtag broadcast Royale.
If I had to take a wild guess, he was probably parachuting down. Somebody managed to catch him in there. So we got the circle that has popped up, and it looks like it's going to be on the northern part of this map. So pretty much everything's going to be up and available. Not too many of these duos going to have to make their way in. And yes, Krindor did get down.
Yeah, it looks like a not that Will Smith all the way down there on the southern points. Probably going to have the longest haul, but you got plenty of time to loot and make their way up there to the circle and then just play that waiting game.
Well, that's the thing about this map is it's so much smaller than the other two PUBG maps. Whenever you come through and you look, it's like, oh, they're so far out of the circle until you realize they're only like 500, 700 meters out. You can walk it in like maybe, what, 30 seconds?
For sure.
It's not that terrible of a deal. So I always like coming down here and like looting this area specifically. I mean, it's kind of hard to get out of sometimes, but it tends to be a little bit more of a little safe area. And I love just how the whole like look of an appeal of this place.
I mean, you really only have one area you need to watch out for bad guys, and that's straight up.
Or people that manage to sneak down. There's always people that hide in these little bushes you can see right there we were looking at. They always manage to pop up out of nowhere when they come through.
Well, that is one of the big differences with Sandhawk compared to the other maps is just how much more foliage there is, correct? It's so much easier to hide on this map.
How much everything there is. I mean, there's rocks everywhere. There's trees everywhere. It feels like you can essentially, like, every 3 to 4 steps get into a new piece of cover, which makes it feel like anybody can just pop out anywhere at any given time and just trying to kill you. And I like that feel of it because, like, I'll be honest, I've been playing on Erangel for a long time.
For sure.
I've been playing on Miramar. You kind of start getting this like feel like, oh, okay, I know where everybody's going to be at. I kind of got this vibe on how this is going to go down. On this map, they could be literally anywhere. I mean, you can see where we're looking at right now. Look at all of the rocks and trees just going up this hillside. So many different parts that you can play around. Makes it really cool and easy to do a lot of neat flanks.
Yeah, and there's a lot of ups and downs in the map. Like there's not many of these long expanses of just flat ground like we find in Erangel, where you just have these large fields. And it's like, oh, I have to run across this field. Usually there's gonna be a way for you to get to where you need to be in the circle through some path that isn't super exposed. You can find some route through some trees, through some buildings, or across a ridge.
One of the things to note on this map that a lot of people tend to forget about is profile on top of these hills. Like you were talking about, there's a lot of verticality in it. When you get to the top of one of these hills and you start looking around wanting to take some pot shots, the problem with it is everybody that's in the low ground or any in those other like hills that are neighboring off in the distance from you can now see you quite easily. So
for sure,
it almost makes it to this point where whenever you get up on top of these hills where you feel safe because you can look down at anything, almost ends up being one of the most dangerous places to play around.
You're silhouetted up there. Here we got Fishy Cakes. He's in a boat. Look at that. Plane from a boat. All of this.
And he didn't loot in the docks area?
Why? Come on, man.
Keep with the theme, man.
You stay on brand. You got to stick with. He is at least on the coast. So
this is true.
I mean, he's all of his stats and his guns there. You see that the VSS it's just floating. It's just floating on this river that's moving quite rapidly on the bottom of his screen. So.
I mean, it's got a nice, pleasant flow to it. I mean, you can see. I wonder. I'm kind of curious. Does the boat start shifting more, like the more people like sub and follow it?
He should connect it to his heart rate monitor and have it go up and down. You know,
that
like more volatile. That'd be pretty crazy. He's got the VSS. I'm not gonna lie. I love watching people play with the VSS. I suck with it. It's not an easy gun to use. Definitely a paintball gun of a gun. But seeing anybody get someone with an automatic suppressed sniper rifle is just cool to me.
There's a lot of people that make jokes about the VSS. It does have its specific niche that you can play around, but this map actually is pretty strong on. The problem with the VSS is it's got such a drop off at range. Whenever everything's right on top of it, you can see like we're getting a lot of SMG fights. That was a peak to try to get that, but that's going to be Taryn that gets the kill on it. I believe she's probably playing with Machine Gunner.
Yeah, for sure, Taryn there, rocking up some kills. Go clip it, send it to us. I want to see it. I want to see it from that perspective.
So I'm gonna keep moving.
Back over here with Biznap and Sniper King. Sniper King, again, like I mentioned earlier, way back in November, one of the first one of these streamer events. I believe that he was playing with Abisa at the time. And so going to be interesting to see how he plays out through this, see if he can kind of recapture some of the former glory.
So about how much sniping does he actually do?
Not a ton, actually. And you know what made me sad? I'm not going to lie, I'm a weeb.
Okay.
I thought for certain that this was like a One Piece reference of some type, you know, a Sniper King with Usopp. But no, apparently it's just he used to play a whole bunch of Battlefield and sniped a lot of people in Battlefield. And he still snipes in this, but just not as much as you would expect with his name.
See, that's just what I want, man. I want to see the crazy, massive snipes. We'll see if he can pull it out here. But Eli, down there, Billy's Sheriff Eli playing with Alex. So then moving along. Is that the Dr. Disrespect M4 skin he's got?
I didn't quite catch it. If it was the red and black one, I believe so. Yep, that's going to be the Dr. Disrespect one.
That's pretty cool. I love the cosmetic items. That might be the only cosmetic item I actually know by name, though. So,
then you know the Shroud one then, too.
Yeah, at least
I don't know if I've seen the Shroud one.
You haven't seen the Shroud?
I don't know if I have.
I like the Dr. Disrespect M4, but I really like the Shroud ones because it's got like that blue-gray. So it's got like the urban camouflage flow going for it.
That's a good look.
I'm going to say that with all of the free crates that have been going out with like the ringside set and everything else from like that with PGI, have you noticed a severe lack of these new ones? Like nobody's running those cosmetics. I'm not seeing a lot of people wearing like the any of the spa day stuff either.
You know, we've talked about branding a few times, and you've got once you know the initial wave of cosmetics in a game comes out, oftentimes people pick their favorites, and then it's like it doesn't matter what else comes out, they just stick with the stuff that they love because people know them for that, you know.
Oh yeah.
So sometimes that sort of thing happens, but I personally love just to constantly change it up.
Because I know that there's a lot of players, specifically in the pro scene, that do that. They have like their designated look that they run. See, I would always be mixing it up.
Yeah.
If you have like this thing that you're always running, then you can like get the 8x zoom in and be like, oh, that's so and so. I don't want to fight them because I know now what they look like. I'd be changing my the way I looked every single day.
Absolutely. And folks, again, if you're watching here for the first time and you don't know about this, Twitch Prime, link it here. You can go and get the Spa Day crate here and have some in-game loot. I'm not going to lie, that the Spa Day stuff doesn't look like it would be that good to run around in a jungle with.
Heal up if you need
you know?
to.
No, I think it hit.
It's got nice ventilation, I would imagine. You know, it's nice and relaxing. You can
That's
deal
a good
with
point.
the humidity.
That's good. And if you want to take a bath, you know, I mean, there's a lot of water on this map.
You know the best part about the Spa Day set is
The
that little like
6
fluffy
and
neck
the
thing that
neck
they have.
pillow.
Whenever you kill somebody and they fall down laying down on their back, it just looks like they're just like taking a nice casual nap.
You just land middle of the circle, pop into a building, and then just take a nap. You know, just wait for the circle to close in around you. Easy top 5. That's how I'd play. You see Bear Jew here rocking the double AR setup. You think we'll see many variations from this loadout?
It kind of varies. Like right now, most people tend to believe that the SMG DMR combination is a lot stronger. But that said, double AR still really good. Naturally, we have the exclusive guns that are on this map.
Right.
A lot of people really enjoy those. I specifically really enjoy using them as well. So we're going to see a lot of people kind of default into whatever they feel most comfortable with. Because that's one of the things I will say. Gun balance tends to be pretty strong right now. Like
For sure.
Everything has its own kind of play style and capabilities to be used. So it's really just going to come down to what most people feel the most comfortable with. I would say that I have noticed that a lot of people do tend to lean away from sniper weapons on this map just due to how close range it is.
For sure. There's not like this the long change in elevation over the course of the entire map. It's much more even. And it is interesting that like with weapon balance, it's basically comes down to fundamentally how much damage does each bullet do to versus how fast do you shoot out the bullets. So if you're shooting the bullets faster, the bullets do less damage. And it honestly kind of the actual effective DPS is the same. And it's just, which do you prefer? Do you prefer to have a bit of room for error where you can miss a few bullets, but you get to shoot them faster? You know, well, I personally love shooting the DMR rifles. I feel good, but I found that I get more kills playing with like an SMG or with a UMP or something. You know,
it depends on play style specifically. Like if you play really aggro, anything that's got full auto is naturally going to help you out inside of it. I kind of go back and forth on it. Like I really do enjoy the DMRs right now. I feel that they're so strong. So definitely when you couple it with something like that SMG, you just get the best of both worlds.
I wonder if you feel this way. I found that when I'm holding a rifle style gun, I feel like I shoot better. And it's just purely a visual thing. That like, you see the gun coming from the corner of the screen versus holding like a pistol.
Well, maybe.
I also feel like this. I never pick up the Uzi for that reason. I just don't like the way it looks.
See, I've got one of the nice trifecta skins for it. We're just talking so much about cosmetics inside of this.
It's a gorgeous game. Look at it.
It is. It's very pretty.
I think that might be my favorite part about Sandhawk too, is just the color palette, just the way that the map looks. But everybody currently moving in. Here's Holo, my boy Holo. Glad to see him. You were saying you're a weeb. This guy is a grade A weebatron.
Oh, no.
Hey.
But also a very good PUBG player. So him and Fox, they play together all the time. Currently rocking the QBZ, double QBZ. One set up for long range, one set up for close range.
Looks like they're making a push over towards the Paradise Resort area. So trying to get a little bit centered up inside of the map, because that's going to be a big part of this. Actually, you say the fact that look at that, he's even sponsored by Funimation. Well, look at him.
I'm telling you.
So with this, that kind of talks about the two different strategies that you can bring into PUBG. The differences between playing edge versus centering. Naturally, if you center up in the map, there's a lot more mathematical chance that you're not going to have to move because the circle ends up dropping on you. Now, if you play edge, though, you can net so many extra kills inside of it. And with the way that this point system works, it's 200 for first, and then it kind of diminishes down about 5 points for every position after that. Kills are worth 4 points. So with every kill you get, you almost move up 1 position point. So if you have a strong round where you get 10, 15 kills, and then a nice standing in the top 3, you're really positioning yourself to move out onto this next bracket.
Right now, if I'm looking at the map correctly, it looks like Holo and them are kind of more central in this circle. Oftentimes, when I've watched Holo play in the past, he loves to just wrap the edge of the circle, just catch any kills from people coming in from the ring. But here, you've mentioned the prize pool. Big difference here between first and second place. Yeah. I'm sure he wants to keep his chances of making it as far into the game as good as possible.
If you guys are unaware, whenever we move on to the final section, the #1 team is going to get $55,000. And second place gets $25,000. There is a huge drop-off there. I mean, we are talking duos, so I mean, still a nice chunk of change either way you look at it. But you know that a lot of these guys might be changing their play style just a little bit because they really want to make sure that they make it at least into that top 80, which is going to be the money brackets where they start kicking in.
For sure. So see this player looting away at some player he's just killed. Rocking a Car 98. Looks like he's got a Groza as well.
Whenever you're running the Car 98 on this map, that means the fact that you have a lot of faith in your tracking and headshots because you never know. Because I mean, like again, look at the way he's walking this path. Behind any one of these rocks could be somebody. So when you opt into a gun with a slow firing range but does a ton of damage,
he's got a player
you have to make sure that you hit those shots
from the edge. He's already spotted him. See if he can hit the shot. I believe, man.
Line it up. Naturally, we are playing this. We get the X-ray vision, takes the shot, going to go a little bit to the outside of it. That's going to force them to reposition. I like this, though. A lot of people tend, after they take a Car 98 shot, kind of wait and go for another peek. This time around, he's making sure to use the terrain, reshift, move to different positions, try to find angles to cut him off.
I'm trying to move in. Oh, his target has acquired a vehicle. He's trying to bail. We'll hit him up as he leaves.
Oh, with the fadeaway honk. I love it. That's the style points right there. Like, hey, I know you're there. Beep, beep.
Catch me if you can. Oh, wait, you can't. Oh, but he's just repositioned behind the rock, too. He's going to try and return some fire here.
Doing a step, doing a strong peek on the outside, trying to line it up. I love the fact that he's taking the patience on it. Looks like the shot does go a little bit wide, but still a retreat. Trying to pull back to a different rock way out in the distance, you can tell. Looks like he doesn't want to really be contained inside of this fight, so he's just going to keep bouncing from terrain points.
His opponent here rocking a Tommy gun, an M4. Looks like those both disengage, move away. Our circle has moved north, so a number of the teams going to have to make a little bit of distance here, but again, this map a bit smaller than others, not as far, not as big of a deal.
What is interesting is that we still have the Paradise Resort inside of this, as well as 2 other of the central loot hubs. So it'll be interesting to see who ends up opting into playing inside of these buildings. Whenever you have any of these cities that are in play, a lot of people already assume that they've been taken, so they won't move inside of it because naturally you don't want to just drive into somewhere where there's already somebody posted at windows. So you might see a couple of people kind of play out of that, but the more brave teams might be able to get some really strong locations if they opt into trying to make that push.
So I see a few teams up there on the north side, hunkered down and just waiting this out. They're just waiting for the circle to come on in. Everybody else having to make their moves upwards. Got not that Will Smith taking fire down on the north side. So he's Will Smith, but he's just not that one.
He's not that Will Smith.
He's a different Will Smith.
He's a different Will Smith, but yet still famous, I'm guessing?
He's famous enough. He's on the broadcast Royale, man.
He is.
That's pretty great stuff.
I mean, it's always got to suck whenever you have somebody that's like famous that has the exact same name as you, because you know anywhere that you go. Like, my last name is Oates. Oh. Everywhere I go, everybody's just like, are you related to the guy from like Hall & Oates?
No, for sure.
No.
My casting buddy, Fightable Carpet, his real name is Kevin Brown. He's maybe the 4th most famous Kevin Brown in the world. So here, Machine Gunners got some targets out in the distance.
Taking some pot shots over there. If you are not familiar with Machine Gunner, he actually made an appearance at PGI North America. Very strong performer. Most people will probably remember because he has a famous clip whenever they listened in. Him and his team were singing, of all things, Vanessa Carlton. And they actually, on the round that they won, is one of the things that they got caught inside of that. Now popping over here with Fozu and Quarter Jade.
See them scouting out this edge. So it looks like they're probably up on, yes, they're on the kind of northwest side of our circle here, looking in towards Cow, I believe is how it would be pronounced.
Lucy May keeps telling me I'm saying everything wrong, so we'll default into whatever she says is right on this.
Brave Sir Waffle ran away.
Sounds good.
Oh, Sir Waffle ran away.
On Eli Thompson's getting kills, folks. Someone go to Sheriff Eli's stream and clip it. I want to see it. He's got a kill with an SKS.
I love the SKS specifically, and since they made those modifications a couple months ago, such a fun game.
Dude.
For sure.
And yeah, I agree with him. Circle's a little rough right now since we still have Paradise Resort inside of this. Machine Gunner getting knocked with a frag grenade now. It's going to force him to push forward. Are they going to play this aggro? That's usually the way you do it inside of duos. Once you get the down, you want to push as quick as possible because it's only going to be a certain amount of time before the res can get off. You don't want to give them time to get both the res and the meds off. So you can line up the angle.
Oh, he finds him underneath the tree. There he goes. See you later, Machine Gunner. That's Ninja with no L, and we talked earlier about playing the center of the circle versus playing the edge. Right now, it looks like Ninja and his buddy here, Guns, just wrapping that edge, looking for targets, looking for kills.
If your name is Guns, you have to be looking for kills. That's just the way it goes.
Man.
Like, you can't be Guns and like passive play a game.
That's
you got to be looking for everything.
You need to kill the other players with Gun in their name, so they find Machine Gunner, knock him down.
And now we're over here with Epic Frenzy TV and the Spartan Show. Looks like they've got caught up in a little bit of a standoff with that Trinity, doing some window peeks back and forth. They are both inside the circle, so this could be a fairly prolonged fight as we are looking through this, because neither one of these guys have to move at the direct time. So what they're probably going to do is probably try to get as much control on the outside as they can. One of the things with Epic Frenzy is very caught up in making sure to keep that Trinity locked in a specific location. I'm surprised they're not like making sure nobody comes up from the outside. It looks like they're finally starting to break away, listen through, try to get a little bit more information.
It looks like Holo up in our kill feeds, knocking down a few people here. Just took out Swifter and another player right before that.
That Trinity even has line of sight on somebody, taking a couple of pot shots out the door over there. Because that's the big thing at this stage. It's all about information. You want to make sure that you have as much knowledge on where everybody's moving to and where they're just potentially going to be approaching you from. Because that's the big thing. Right now, you're safe. You're inside the circle, but you need to know where everybody else has positioned themselves at, so that way, if you end up having to move, you know exactly where you're going to go.
There's Sheriff Eli lobbing some nades, but getting pushed in by the circle. He's going to have to cross this street here momentarily. His teammate is downed. Oh, and he gets killed by Grizzly Mallard. Grizzly Mallard. I think he took out both of the players in that squad. They'll finish it out at 18th. Not happy about it.
You know, that's whenever you go down, it's like 18th place. You've been playing for this long, 29 people alive.
Yeah.
Get 18th. It's like, damn it. I thought it was going to be so much better than that.
He is such an entertaining streamer. He is a former state trooper, I believe, who used to stream role-playing cop servers in Grand Theft Auto, but now has switched just to playing whatever he wants, plays a lot of PUBG. Super entertaining guy.
50 degrees.
Sounds like a lot. I would love to see a role-playing Grand Theft Auto server played by cops. That just sounds very
They're very hardcore. They use the actual terminology. It sounds like you're on board with a cop in his cop car. But back to PUBG. Polo here just taking shots across. He's tagged him a few times, and now the player he's up against is in the blue. He's come back down to the tree, but still he cannot find an angle, and that'll be him out. Terran there, knocked out by Holo's buddy Fox.
Oh, Terran, that's gonna be the end of that team, because Machine Gunner we saw go down just a second ago. So Holo holding a nice position, capable of moving, just getting back over onto the hillside. I think that having this high ground position, notice how they're not playing the very top of it too often. They're just making sure to shift down once they make sure that it's clear. They reposition based off of that. I find it interesting. It looks like they're doing an outer sweep. They're actually hunting kills right now. They're trying to get into a point to try to catch people as they're making their way up the hillside, and it's successful. Look at this. They're finding people. Take him out now, because you can kind of gatekeep. You can see that they're kind of in a position to where they can easily get back to the circle, force everybody to kind of slow down and stop. 3 seconds before the circle moves in, now they've taken a little bit of damage. They have to med. Now that other team is going to have to be a little bit more delayed in their rotation.
Anything you can do to make your opponents have less time to make decisions most likely will result in a win for you. So Holo here, even though he didn't get the kill there, is going to put that enemy in a very rough situation, and he's much more likely to win the fight next time they encounter them again.
A lot of this game is attrition, you know, kind of knocking off armor, burning through meds, making people run through ammo, and making sure that you kind of keep yourself replenished as possible. Naturally, kills can propel you through that, but if you can just try to burn off as many of these things specifically at this stage of the game, because this is where it starts having a lot of risk. You can see everybody is in these different positions. Once you decide to take some shots, everybody can turn and spin on you. Really easy to get third party. So now we're over here, Bearju doing a slow approach on this. He can hear the firefight, know somebody was right in front of him. Again, paying attention to those sound cues, waiting for the moment, watching somebody just get torn apart right in front of him, gets the knockout onto Lol Franco, now slowly moving down, looking for the other person that was taking shots. Because again, this is all about that information stage, trying to figure out who's doing the damage, where is it coming from, how can I easily reposition.
Now back on board here. 483 subs. I love that he made it in the same font as how many are alive, just lines up there with his PUBG stats in the corner.
Yeah, just
Now taking a couple of looks back and forth over here with your boy Hollow.
No, he's at the
Or Holo, sorry about that.
Close one.
I keep wanting to say Hollow.
You know,
it's Hollow. It's red. We talk about hollows and red dots all the time inside of PUBG.
He deals with this all the time. We get every time we pick up a hollow site when we're playing with him, like, hey, you want this, right? And it's like, no, stop. But here he is with the hollow.
Doing some peeks. Kind of risky. Third party comes in, takes him down. Got a lot of kills coming out of that, though, so we'll have to see how that plays out for him inside the leaderboard. Back over here with the Bear Jew Live running through. That's such an intimidating hat. It's like a combination of fluffy, but I'm going to kill you at the same time.
You understand why warriors of old would wear the skins of great predators that they had murdered and taken into battle.
That's what he is. He is the modern-day Viking. Look
exactly,
at that.
Exactly. And it's too bad you can't see his face when you're playing the game against him, or else he would have an edge.
Now we're over here with the Spartan Show. Inside the circle, got control over one of those buildings that we were talking about beforehand. But now here comes the problem. Whenever you're holding down these buildings, you don't necessarily have the best sight lines coming out of these windows. Everybody knows exactly where to peek, where to return back. A lot of shots coming out from Bear Jew, taking a lot of damage now, trying to make his way inside the circle. He still has to move forward just a couple of feet.
Oh, and he's getting
flanked
by Grizzly Mallard.
Teammates pushing up and forward. Grizzly Mallard is coming back behind him, though. But Epic Frenzy and the Spartan Show are just listening in on this at the direct time. Multiple downs come through, and Bear Jew Live does survive through that, coming through with 5 kills, all things considered. Now we're starting to move into the top 10, I believe.
Now the Epic Frenzy Spartan Show in the middle house. Which do you like better? You like his hat, or you like the Spartan Show's shoulder armor?
Ooh, I don't know. That's gonna be hard. Different merits.
Let's see who wins.
That'll be the key deciding factor.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey,
Who's
look,
better at PUBG?
There's one of the ringside sets right there.
I love it.
And the corpse down below Bear Jew Live. So now you can see he's trying to look out through these windows, get a little bit more information, because he knows the fact that he's getting pushed on the outside of it. Does a nice peek, gets the down onto one of them. So now teammates just going to peek back around. Bear Jew Live does get another knock and an instant kill, but look at that. That's turning into catastrophe on the outside.
In like one.
And knock him down. Activator here. See, he's still just hiding up on the top. Activator has maybe the best camera on Twitch. I'm not going to lie. He has his camera moves around.
Really?
This guy
oh, yeah,
nuts.
you're right.
It's a great setup, and right now he's got the nice just hide for the win strat. 7 alive. His Pellet's alive as well. He's got his teammate with him.
Spartan Show caught up in a little bit of smokes. Him and Epic Frenzy still alive.
Oh, look at Grizzly Mallard. He's right underneath him.
He's dead.
He's dead. He's dead.
So he got taken down probably on the push. Now the fight's happening on the outside of the circle between those duos. They're kind of lined up, and we're playing the edge. Slowly being forced to push down by the blue. You can see pot shots coming back and forth between them.
But he backed up into the circle.
Trying to run back down through. I like that. Step back through. Use the hillside, because it's much better to take a little bit of blue damage than a lot of bullets to the face. But now they're slowly being forced down right into where Spartan is waiting for them.
Do you know Spartan Show's stream is sponsored by Soylent?
If you could finish him.
I didn't know that, but that's pretty cool.
I did not know that.
5 alive here. Holden, the only team that is currently in a building, 30, I believe.
30.
At the direct time. Yeah, all the others are kind of post up in different positions. Looks like Epic Frenzy's looking around.
Let these last guys.
They have the wall right next to him at this point. So this is where that information problem comes into play.
So,
you have so few places that you can peek out of.
So it looks like it's Spartan Show's squad, Epic Frenzy's duo, and then Activator is the only player alive on his squad. That's our top 5 players here. So 3 teams still left.
And the other duos are on the northern part of the circle right now, kind of looking back down. Well, one of the duos, and then the solo is up there as well.
And the new circle
right on top of Epic Frenzy and Spartan Show. So they have the control point, but now here comes the pressure point for it. Whenever you know everybody's going to be trying to make their way down towards where you're at. Shots coming back through there. It's going to be Chumsy actually getting the kill onto it. So Activator's going to go down. That drops us down to 4. So we are in a 2v2 now.
2v2.
2v2.
Take them out. Get the win here in game number 1, and they have to push into Epic Frenzy and company in the house, like you said. But they do know where Epic Frenzy is. There's basically only one place they can be.
They're retreating back. They're going to lean into the defensive nature of the buildings. But again, now that means it's going to make it really easy for grenades. If anybody can actually get breached up right next to this building, get some sprays inside of it, or get any nades, it could be very, very influential. But at the direct time, we're having to see a res come through. Stockson's trying to get that up and through, but no. Spartan Show and Epic Frenzy decide just to step outside, get the grenade kill, and that's going to give them the win.
That was it. Epic Frenzy and Spartan Show. Congratulations on game number 1. 4 kills there, and they take it. What a way to finish it off there. Having to push in, take on a circle that was favoring the other team, and they still are able to pull it out here at Broadcast Royale.
So with that, Rebel Scum gets round 1. We still have 4 more to go through there, but great showing from Spartan Show and Epic Frenzy TV. So I guess this means that the shoulder pad wins.
Shoulder pad, absolutely. Best thing, mod, auxiliary piece of clothing. I think we'll go with that we've seen so far. So all the rest of you broadcasters, if you want to top that though, just gotta take out Spartan Show. You could take that title from him.
It's almost like we're sitting here with a place called Twitch TV where you can bring out all kinds of cool stuff. And speaking of that, you know what we have to talk about is we've got the Amazon Prime crates that are going through right now where you can come through and you can get your Spa Day crate. So we're talking about all this swag and all these free cosmetics and all the cosmetics the streamers are wearing. Are they still cosmetics if they're real life?
I think, man, you know, I mean, I have cosmetics in real life, you know?
I think so.
I got a big old TCU belt buckle I wear sometimes, if they let me.
You keep talking about TCU. You know that I went to UTA, right?
You know, that's fine. That's fine.
I don't judge you for
There's no
it's
rivalry
fine.
between those two schools.
There is
so
none, because we don't even have a football team. I went to a state school.
That's all right, folks. Folks, we have had a great game number 1, and we've got so many more coming at you here. Don't go anywhere. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, Broadcast Royale is going to be back on air. Welcome back to Broadcast Royale, folks. I love this music. It's jamming. Like, this is some good music. I'm Wavepunk, joined here by Lucy May. Happy to have you here. First time we get to work together.
Yeah.
My little sister's middle name is May.
Is it spelled M-A-E, though?
Mm-hmm.
It is. Usually it's M-A-Y.
So. And, you know, now I'm actually second-guessing myself,
Oh,
but I think it is.
your
I think
little
it
sister.
is.
You don't
Sorry
even
if you're
know?
watching, Lydia. But yeah, I'm excited to get into this game. We just had a great game there. We saw Spartan Show and his duo take the win. And we want to make sure you guys at home understand, too, that points are important for winning. That's how you win tournaments, right? But kills in this tournament are more important than they've ever been in PUBG before. You can get a lot of kills in a game and still be able to qualify on for the finals later on. It's more important to get the kills than it is to get the win.
Yeah, well, I mean, it can really be the difference. You could place 5th. If you got a bunch of kills, you fragged half the map, you're in 1st place. Boom, automatically.
For sure.
Yeah, but hey, let's take a look at the replay of last match. I want to check it out. Let's take a look.
All the kills. There was some crazy action. We had some awesome hats. Bear Jew live. Well, we thought he was the best dressed, but then we decided Spartan Show at the end was actually the best dressed with his shoulder pad.
Oh, yeah, nice. Oh, I'm so bummed I missed that. Killed Franco 3 kills. Is that a real wolf head, do you think?
I'm guessing it's probably not actually real.
It better be.
But
No.
he made it very, very far, all the way up there into the top 10, getting some crazy frags before finally getting taken out by Hades there. Activator tried to hide his way to the win, but it didn't quite happen there as he was taken out in 3rd place. It was Spartan Show that took our victory. So still always got to calculate the points there, so we'll give you an update on those standings whenever we have them. But for now, we're going to have some great action coming at you here as we're going to get Game 2 set up and ready to go.
Yeah, and actually right now we have some information for you guys. We got the top 20 from EU. That was this last matchup, the last region prior to North America. Perry Moans?
Perry Moans up there with
First
Winghaven.
place.
Winghaven, formerly an Overwatch professional, now doing a lot of streaming and playing a lot of PUBG events as well. So glad to see him up there. You see Mythrain in 10,000 Days down there in 15th place. I was just looking for names that I enjoy and that I've watched before. Mythrain always a good player as well. So
Wacky Jackie. Everyone knows Wacky Jackie.
Oh, for sure.
Getting all that good PUBG intel.
Yep, Perry Moans, Blue Walker, and Resident Sleeper are top 3 for Europe. But right now, it's all about North America and your North American streamers. How you been enjoying the show so far? How did you feel like? How do you think things have been going?
Well, I mean, of course, I always favor NA because I am in North America and I have a lot of friends in this invitational playing. So it's really fun to see all of them go head-to-head when everyone's usually playing casually. And then they're now having to face each other out in the battlefield for some good, hard, cold cash.
For sure. But folks, we want to know who you think is going to win the Broadcast Royale here in North America. Tweet your answers, tweet your predictions with the hashtag Broadcast Royale, and we'll be sure to check them out. We always got to get you involved here. Who do you think is going to win North America? You got any predictions?
You know, gosh, I mean, we've got some names up in here for sure. But the Spartan Show, you know, did a great job.
Yeah.
We've got Hades. You said it was in there. I like Hades. Hades is a real killer. Squisha's partner, I think, got swapped out there.
Oh, did they?
So I was going to say, you know, Squisha, and it was Ice Prime originally.
Okay.
But now I think Curvy Llama.
I think it's Curvy Llama, yeah.
And so I was unable to catch all of the action.
Well, we'll see. I want to see. I want to see my boy Holo take the win, or maybe
Holo,
Feral
yes!
Wife. Feral Wife's great as well. So those are 2 streamers I would enjoy seeing take the win here. But folks, you know what? You can win too if you've got Twitch Prime. The Spa Day crate is yours right now. If you've got Twitch Prime, just be sure to get that reward up in the top left corner. There's a crown. You click on it. You can click to claim your Spa Day crate. And if you don't have that crown up in the corner, just link your Amazon Prime with your Twitch Prime account. It's free. It's easy, and you get some cool in-game loot. Look at how I need those robes in real life.
Purple's just really good color for anybody. Yeah,
It
I mean,
looks so cozy.
it's super cozy. Like literally, I'm lounging right now.
Yeah. Just you know.
Because we're off cam, you guys can't tell we're lounging.
Yeah, you know. Hi. That was okay. Cool. So, yeah. I want the neck pillow. That was Matcham was talking about how he wanted the neck pillow.
I'm trying to decipher if it's air filled or if it's the fuzzy cotton kind, right?
So like or maybe it's
You
like
know what I mean?
Maybe it's like feathers.
I
like
want it to
down.
be like plush and not the blow up kind.
What about the memory foam? You know, for
Ooh,
like
yes,
the ones on the
even
planes.
better. Even
Yeah.
better. Solid. I would buy that, Twitch. Make it happen.
They should have. Oh my God! Can you imagine if they just had all that merch at TwitchCon?
You know what? They're probably going to secretly do that.
They should do that. They should absolutely
Making
have
notes.
Twitch bathrobes at TwitchCon. That'd be amazing.
I would totally rock a Twitch bathrobe.
They just
Absolutely.
give them to the people who are going to be doing the presentations on the stage and stuff like that. That'd be the best thing ever. That'd be
You
super
are the,
cool.
like you robe them. You
Yep.
are the winner.
Absolutely. Make it happen, folks. But here, game number 2 getting underway. Moving back onto Erangel. everybody's favorite, the tried and true, the original here in PUBG.
The OG map. Everyone knows how to play Erangel, and if you don't, where have you been?
Where have you been? This game's been around for so long now. I've got about I only have about 200 hours in this game. Say probably about 189 of them are on Erangel.
Yeah, that would make sense. What do you think about the other maps then? Are you remember when there was map selection? Were you always just Erangel?
So the thing is like Erangel is, like we said, it's the Frozen Chosen, it's the original, and it is kind of the same aesthetic as most Battle Royale's first maps, you know? So when Miramar came out and it was this big desert, I'm like, oh, this is actually super cool. It feels really fresh, feels kind of Mad Max in the Thunderdome. But I still think Sandhawk's probably my favorite. Sandhawk is just a good combination of colors, a nice feel. But Erangel, you can't go wrong with Erangel.
Yeah, I mean, you go to Erangel and you just immediately you're comfortable, you're at ease. You know what you got to do with your strats. You've been playing on it forever, so you know where your drops are going to happen and how to play this. It's very wide, broad. Unlike Sanhok, like you were saying, even though it's amazing and action-packed, on Erangel you can probably separately land from anyone else and not worry about an initial fight.
It's a good map for the tactical masterminds. You get a bit of space, a bit of time to read your surroundings, and then make some decisions. Company Swifter and Riot Gaming on their drop-in. All the players just popping around, checking out the people. Our winners from the previous match there, Spartan Show, this massive shoulder pad, and here Visions and Halifax. You're dropping in. And then I said it earlier, I said this is the best mustache on Twitch.
Absolutely, it has to be. The most infamous, for sure.
Well, see, okay, so Matchroom was saying Dr. Disrespect. What about you know, the Select Daddy? And I maybe more infamous.
I feel like that's a little bit different because it's a whole thing, a whole face.
It is also, okay, here's the thing. Technically, it's a caterpillar, too. Technically, it's not actually a mustache. So I think that, it's Sequisha. It's just Sequisha's the best mustache on Twitch.
It's real. A lot of people
Tell us what
ask
you
him,
think, chat. Tell us what you think. I want to know what the best
is
mustache
this,
on Twitch.
Is this the sexiest mustache you've ever seen in your life? Let us know in chat right now.
Let's find out. So you see everyone kind of spread out on the plane path, stretching from the entirety of the map. 2 squads made it down there to military base, it looks like, or maybe just one. It looks like, it looks like it's just one squad. D-Rich and Aviori down there, taking the entire military base all to themselves. And over on Novo. And it's a military circle, too. They're just going to be sitting pretty this entire game.
They're going to get all the weapons. They're going to get fully geared out, having military base all to themselves. They will have no problem getting scopes, amazing weapons, gear. Some attachments might be a little tough to get their hands on, but I'm sure they'll find it. They're not having to contest anybody else there. Here we are with
Visions.
Visions. Okay. See? You're better at these letters than I.
That's okay. Just
Vision.
Just gotta say it. Just Visions. You know? And it's like, oh, okay. I think it made
I
sense.
am in Vision.
Yeah. And he's almost dead, too. The poor guy, I don't think he's gotten any loot right now. Has a sliver of health. If a fly runs up and breathes on him, he's going to die, or at least get knocked out. Luckily, Halifax seems safe and sound. Maybe can make his way over if he finds some loot. But right now, he is just running. Visions, don't die!
I know, 100%. He just landed.
I'm alive.
What was he doing?
He's
he
alive.
must have been having some coffee or something, and he was like, oh, God, we're jumping out of the plane.
Okay, yeah.
You're in George, what? Oh, here they are. Good.
They have found each other. You see him sitting back, breathing a sigh of relief.
I feel like there needs to be an epic music playing.
Close
run
one.
To Rabble Wrangler. And that double James just like running it out in the open field. I mean, he's got an M4. Don't feel, too shabby about that.
Looks like on the map, some other players have made their way onto the island. Our third squad has finally joined. I can't quite see who it is from over there, but we'll check in with them.
Look at that peach.
So these guys making their way around. Since the circle is down, most of the circle already is water, as you just saw for a moment there on Rabble's stream. These guys, this is going to get so crowded just off this first circle, as everybody has to push in there and have to crowd the bridge. The second bridge is outside the circle as well, mostly. So we're going to see a pretty action-packed game here pretty quickly. And Sequisha!
No!
He's gone!
No!
Not that Will. He didn't get killed by Will Smith. He got killed by a different Will Smith.
Not that Will Smith.
That's right. It was a different Will Smith.
The different Will Smith.
That's unfortunate there. Someone go clip not that Will Smith stream. I want to see it from his perspective.
Yeah, where was that POV?
You want to go to this housing complex down here?
We hear Rabble.
Yeah, this is actually what I would do here is you need to head south. Stat. Hit that west bridge. Otherwise, you're gonna get congested on that east bridge, and the likelihood of you crossing it is super slim.
For sure.
No lie.
The teams, you see them trying to cross early here. You want to get into the circle quickly because, again, that congestion is going to become a thing, and just being able to make the correct decisions to read all the different squads that comes in, the chances of being third-party is so significant if you wait too long to try and cross these bridges.
Absolutely. And some might say, well, you know, the north part is still in the circle. However, if you see that it's mostly water, as you said, and it's going to end up in on the South Island for sure.
We're going towards is
so you definitely want to make it across.
Line, so there's a good chance that it's all been looted.
South side, perhaps? Go south, way south. That South Beach, I hear, you know, this time of year, super nice.
Well, Rabble, you heard him and his squad here talking about the loot on the island. They are predicting that everything's been looted already. The thing is, so few people actually landed on that military base. There's a good chance that they could get into the island and actually find some unlooted areas. So making that early cross could be a gamble that works out in their favor.
Yeah, absolutely. And as I was saying, that if I were coming over into the military island that late, just head straight south. There's those compounds down there, most likely untouched. Easier to engage with versus just plowing right into base, risking getting shot from a second-story
go far and swim
barrack.
how long it takes.
Did his teammate get shot, or did he jump out?
Oh, that's a good question.
I think he might have accidentally jumped out, but he's not making the move to go and res him just yet, so he probably actually got shot from a long distance. And he's scared. He's waiting for his teammate to get off of that top of the hill. Doesn't want to silhouette himself and give himself a nice, juicy target to whoever took out his teammate. But here, Feral Wife, Alley Speed, good to see her. Love watching her streams. Her and her buddy Paradox. Paradox, generally a kind of bubble player here in the PUBG scene, and a good player at that. Rocking the Kar98 and the Vector. She'll be looking for a UMP as her favorite gun.
UMP?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Loves taking people out with that. The first solo game I ever won in PUBG was with a UMP.
Really? Well, I love the new the buff. You know, since they buffed all the SMGs.
We take the bike and we go.
It's pretty well balanced all around SMG weapon.
Back over with Sniper King. Heard Matchroom talking about him a lot. Big fan. They've landed a mansion. And still very far outside the circle. But again, this first circle, it takes its time and also ticks decently slow. So you don't get punished too hard. It's just simply the position of that circle. Wanting to maybe make that early move. But they're Halifax with that silver DP.
Yeah, their idea might be just to come in late. Because once they saw that hard shift of the circle, they realized we might as well just take this in a little late, walk it in a little bit, take some damage from the blue, make sure we get fully looted up because they know they're going to get into some fights.
Well, and on the flip side here, you look at Boomsy way over there in Georgia Pole, South Georgia Pole. They're going to be probably the last squad all the way in, or maybe Machine Gunner, who's up in the Severny area. The thing is because that last circle does tick so slowly, if you roll in really late after everybody's moved, no, people aren't going to be expecting you to be coming in. Oh, but Halifax is getting engaged here at Mansion. You're going to have to run downstairs trying to take this fight on the ground floor, takes the shots and gets them onto Fishy Cakes. That'll be a down there for Halifax.
Beautiful shot. I mean, the DP it's a machine gun. It's actually got really good handling, and the damage is insane.
For sure. But we can, you know, folks, he's here in a mansion, and you know what? Mansions have lots of bathrooms. They have lots of bathtubs, and you know what you need when you're taking a bath?
You need a robe.
You need a robe. You need to have
pillow.
You need your spa day.
You need
stuff,
towels.
folks. Yeah, if you've got Twitch Prime, get your spa day crate. It's free, absolutely free with Twitch Prime. There's no reason not to do it. Claim your reward.
Absolutely. And if you don't have it, you can go to Twitch Prime. I'm sorry, twitch.tv/Prime. Get it for free right now.
Absolutely. Twitch Prime, free with Amazon Prime, and just generally a great deal. So here's 67 alive. It's Krendor and Gmart. They're camping the bridge. This is going to be a big choke point here as players try to push across. And right now, on the far side, I think they are near the island, so they're going to be waiting for players to be coming across. They've already claimed the bridge.
Yeah, this is going to be great. I love seeing this because either A, this is going to be real successful for them because they're obviously going to have the sight and the vision on whoever is most likely coming down with a vehicle, or the vehicle is going to come plowing in and do something epic, run somebody over. We're going to see some amazing plays go down right here on the bridge.
I want to see someone hit the ramp. It's not the best tactical situation, but you should do it. No, dear, my buddy Holo's dead now. Hades took him, though. Hades making a move. Gonna try and get the win here in game 2.
Yeah, I was saying that before. They should have implemented a little style point action. Style points?
We need a panel of judges. Oh, but Fox, there's Holo's buddy just taking the rip across the bridge. Can he get behind the Jeep? He does, or gets behind the RV there. Looks like he might make it out safe, but they're still just peppering his tail, and he doesn't go down just yet. He's going to make it all the way there. No, they finally got him at the absolute length. He hit the wall there, and that'll be Holo and Fox out there in 33rd place.
Oh, that was so good, though. He was juking him really good on the
tried.
bridge. I was surprised he made it out. But then he should have just hard-sided, like,
This way.
LOS the F out of there off to
Yep.
the left. But he just kept going straight, and unfortunately, that costed him his life.
But here's that Trinity and Muzi. This was a squad that was up at Georgia Bowl. They found a boat and are able to get all the way back down. It looks like they are underneath the island now. And they are going to be enjoying some nice
This next
new
circle's
positioning.
probably gonna, like, be
Getting away out of that circle. Circle's still pushing in. So still a lot of time before we get to our second circle. Oh, I love this. Krendor, he's rocking the crossbow. Please get a crossbow kill.
This is ballsy for sure. But he's at least got some range there with that M16 if he does need to whip that out if that crossbow fails him. But it would be epic. We need to see one of those for sure.
I need something. Come on. Hades here, taking the loot. Big guns here. M24 and the M416. He is in a good position. He's going to pick up the flare gun as well. I need the style kills, man. Go for it. Let's do it. He's got a boat as well. In a good position here.
Yeah, he needs that boat for sure.
He's going to be able to move down. Looks like he's going to be going to the south side. And like you said, that's the play. If you're not able to get across these bridges early, just bypass the bridges. Flank the entire island. Get on the bottom side.
Absolutely. Rotating from his spot even was super dangerous. Machine gunner. Nope. Ninja with no L.
Yeah, this the second biggest ninja on Twitch.
Okay, we can go to the other one.
Okay, coming.
See what they're thinking right now.
Are they trying to get out of there? Are they in any, no, they're not in an engagement.
They're
Oh,
the
someone's
rest of the players.
shooting from
Oh
afar.
dear, Basic's gonna knock him down with SLR.
Boy.
See what guns can do.
Come in.
Use your namesake.
Use your
Not
namesake.
supposed to
I want to see him do it.
Cool.
See, Ninja not happy about his situation here.
There's not
But-
a lot here, though.
His helmet was unscathed, so if his teammate's able to get there and bring him back up, at least his head will be covered.
Oh, it looks like we've got two making the long swim for two Olympians.
The Navy
of
SEAls.
PUBG today. Navy SEAls, I like that. That's great.
Mim Tum Tum and Cucaracha, it looks like.
You. You're so good at this.
Underneath Gmart, they think Gmart and Krendor think they have this bridge locked down, but they didn't realize there's an entire body and expanse of water underneath them, and they're about to get a nice surprise. We'll see if anybody comes up from the back. It looks like Guns and Ninja did get knocked out there by Basic, as they will go out in 32nd place. But you can see the map, Swifter and Riot Gaming all the way deep in the circle right now. They'll be taking their time, though. And again, this first circle ticks pretty slowly. As long as they've got a lot of meds, they'll be fine. And it looks like Boomsy did not actually make it down to the bottom of the island. They're down near the ferry, and they've got some company as well coming in quickly. So a lot of teams still trying to move in to this very southern circle.
This is going to be a super rough rotation. That's North Island, just a sliver left, and all the body is condensing right on in. Fights are about to go down for sure. Of course, Gmart, not sure, did he see her? He's just kind of scoping out, checking out the action. I don't think he notices that there's two bodies right below him.
Yeah, there wouldn't be much of an angle as they're directly underneath this bridge. And I believe there are
They're
people at the end of the bridge as well, though. So this is going to be a very interesting engagement to see how it plays out. So there's that compound right at the southern end. I believe there's
Yeah.
a squad there looking back towards the bridge. Oh, but
Where are they?
now
I'm trying to see the map here, and it doesn't actually look like anyone's watching the bridge from the south end.
Cucaracha and my Tum Tum going to the eastern side here. Krendor and Gmart, though, they're looking down the bridge southern, so they might miss that entire rotation. Here we can jump on with Podado and the Loyal Patriot. He's taking some looking around.
Oh my gosh, they went.
They missed
they
it.
were so open.
They missed
that
it.
would have been there. That would have been two easy kills because they were in the wide open on this beach, and they made it out safely to live another rank or two or three.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh my.
And we mentioned earlier the kills are so important there. That could have been a difference maker. The Emba B-Nan's going to be down. Podado just finds the shots long range. Well done.
Look at that, 4 points, as you were just saying. Look at that, the timing of that. 4 points added there for Podado and the Loyal Patriots. See, I'm trying to get good with this, pronunciation like you with these names.
You just got to go on the fly. Just what is it most likely, Riot Gaming going to finally die out there. 57 left here. Still about half the lobby. As we've only had the first circle, finally our second circle does show up. And we have just there's a sliver of land still on the mainland. And there's a few squads up there that haven't crossed over just yet. But now, unlike the beginning where there was only 2 squads, now that military island loaded up with players.
Ooh, I see the machine gunner and Terran right there trying to make their way in from the north side of the bridge. Will Gmart actually see that side? It looks like they're actually neglecting the east side of the bridge.
This right here is probably going to be a pretty
There's
chill
Sheriff
spot for
Eli.
us.
A lot of people around him down there on the bottom. Rocking And this might be my new favorite cosmetic setup.
Wait, Sheriff Eli, he didn't used to show his face before.
He doesn't very often,
Yeah.
but he's recently started to do it.
Okay, because I was like, I don't think I've ever seen this man.
Yeah, he turns it on real. It's funny. I have many times seen him streaming, and then the thumbnail, he has his camera. And I'm like, oh, I'm excited to see it. And I'll click on it, and it's off.
Oh, dang.
He turned it off in the last 5 minutes or so. He's just done.
You just got debated.
Yep.
He baited
But
you.
then I sit and watch the stream for 2 hours, so you know it works for him.
Nice.
But here, they know there are other players on this ridge. So many players flanked down onto these lower cliffs on the military island, just trying to scout this out.
A lot of health.
Looks like they just got some kills. It looks like so. Picking up the loot and being safe in the meantime. So there's only 52 alive.
Potato took out.
Kuda. We just missed the kill. So close. But he's still in the military. He's still on the mainland up near Milta and trying to make his way down towards the bridge.
This guy doesn't have any audio.
He's
Yeah.
just being very stealthy and sneaky.
Super stealthy.
Oh, and I like this. A dual stream here from Steffler and Rones. They're trying to take out the players on this boat. Run, little boat! Looks like it'll make it away in time. As they'll try to move back up onto the island.
Oh,
Yeah.
Pokeballs killed himself.
Oh, Jinx. Oh, me a
That's
Coke.
adorable. Yeah, they both owe you a Coke.
Nervious?
My hands are
you
very
scared?
nervous.
You can do it. I believe in you.
You got this.
Don't let that blue touch your butt, Rons. Oh no.
It's already touched my butt.
Oh, this
It's
is
in
not
you.
good,
The
sweet.
blue is in you.
Oh my god.
And this music, too. It's
This is
jazzy.
great.
It just goes along with the whole vibe
This
right
is
now.
great. Guys, they're only 3 subs away from their sub goal. Go and give these guys some subs. I wish I knew what their Twitch URL was, because it's probably Steffler or Rones, but it might be a Boot Gaming.
Oh, good call.
Are they running in?
These
They
people must be
stopped
Canadian.
To loot?
But
They have custom branded hats.
People?
I think they're just running in. We gotta get
A Boot Gaming.
A Boot Gaming?
Twitch.tv,
No,
a Boot
they
Gaming.
stopped.
/
So-
Boot
I know
Gaming.
they did. But
Where
they
did you
got
see
out.
that?
I
So
saw them
ABO
running, so that's what I'm saying.
Oh, I see it
BOOT
on the left.
logo,
A boot
yeah.
love. Nice.
That's adorable. They've got some good emotes, too, it looks like.
Yep.
As they're moving it all, but now in a new...
Trying to stay tight.
Spartan hype, Spartan hype, Spartan hype, Spartan hype.
This is the player that won, the team that won last game.
It looks like both players are still alive, so that's good. They've got that going for them.
Moving in on Novo, and right now, actually, Novo has cleared out, but all the players have moved south of Novo, so there's a few different squads down here on the cliffs that they are rolling in towards. So we'll see if they find any engagements here.
I sure hope they're able to. That's the play. They're going to go right into this building. Going to have to clean it up. I'm bartending at the moment. Can't be 100% attention.
It's okay. We are paying 100% attention for you. You can go back and check the VOD here on Broadcast Royale. And oh my goodness, the Slavda Russian, he has one of the best setups you can have right now. He's got a Kar 98 with a nice scope and a high ground of champions. He can shoot anybody from anywhere up here. Would love to see him get some long-range shots.
Still got G-Mart and Krendor here on the bridge, just surviving it out. Looks like those two Potato are below.
I think they're swimming across. I think they're doing the swim again. So far, G-Mart, they found Fox earlier. G-Mart and Krendor found 1 player, but so far the bridge camp, most people are just swimming underneath. They're not catching many people on this rotation.
Which is fine, because you know, if everyone wants to go ahead, swim across, now they're behind. G-Mart are behind everyone else.
Yep.
They can come on in behind their booties.
They're still pretty clean. Yeah, they know that
Still a good position.
everybody is going to have crossed over, and they know that their backside is clear. Sheriff Eli here guarding the coast, rocking an M24 and a Scar.
Ooh, I like that combo.
It's a good combo indeed. He's got the pan too, protecting his back, and yep, there is the swim, making it across slow but steady. The question for me is, did Krendor and G-Mart catch them this time once they make it out onto the other shore? They missed the last squad.
I'm going to say they might, because as you see, the circle is not on the bridge anymore, and they're going to have to move. It looks like actually we have some shots going down on the bridge.
Oh, is up on the cliff there. Slavda Russian taking shots, trying to find more players. Can he get it? No, doesn't just quite miss.
You know, if I were the there we go, Slavda Russian, I'm not sure I'd be taking shots. He's in a great position, like you said, if they're not going to be kill shots. Moving to targets, that's great.
There he goes,
That's
gets
great.
one. But as we said too, the kill's more important than the placement.
But you also have to worry about giving away your position. He is in
sure.
a beautiful spot, and he doesn't. We're not sure if anyone's perhaps above a little bit more. They're going to come rotating around. They could shoot him. From top.
well, he and his teammate both up here on the mountain. It is one of the most narrow high grounds. It's very difficult to have other people up there without knowing they're there. But it's still, there is that entire back, you can see on his minimap, the entire back ramp to get up onto the mountain. So
Exactly.
it's always possible, but I like him taking the risk to try and get the kills. G-Mart and Krendor got people pushing across the bridge. Finally, Clumsy and Toxin trying to make it across. One's down and they'll die. Toxin now left alone on that bridge, and the circle's pushing in rapidly. G-Mart gets knocked out out, though, as well by Terran off in the distance on the side. Gets third-partied, and now he's going to have to crawl his way back to safety, see if he can make it. Toxin now making the move around the bus. He has to. He has to come out from here. He knows he's about to get hit by the blue. He could get a free kill onto Gmart here. He could steal it from Terran. Karma just died in the water. Karma, one of the most winning Call of Duty players of all time, died to a little bit of H2O. Unfortunate there. Hate to see that happen. But Podato, oh, they come up from the bottom. Loyal Patriot and Podato, they're just coming up from underneath, and they'll kill Gmart. Oh my goodness, poor Terran. He got the down, but he won't get the kill. Loyal Patriot secures one there for his buddy.
And Toxin, I don't think realized, or Clumsy, which one went down? Toxin's still alive. Didn't realize that Gmart went down because that was his move. That was his moment to push off that bridge.
Well, right now he's got Podato and company right in front of him too.
Yeah, he probably saw them, held off because he knew he was only one guy. You're going to let them take that advance, get in front of him. He must have enough heals.
It looked like he was healing up on the bridge as well, but still, Slavdorushin hanging up on the top, just looking to rain terror with this Kar 98. See if he can find any more. There's a target out in the distance. Takes the shot. Oh, well, he hit him too.
Connected.
Great contact. Takes another one. Oh, we cut away. We won't see how that one ends, but it doesn't look like he hit. There was nothing that showed up in the kill feed. Oh, dear. Paradox and Feral Life, I believe, just went down to the storm, or to the play zone. Unfortunately, they'll be out. But still, hanging out up here. He can see so many different players, so many different squads from up here. Get him.
Oh!
Nearly found him. Just barely a bit high.
Slav.
I believe he knows there's somebody in that compound. So he keeps checking it. Every time he reloads, it looks like he checks that building just south of bridge. Oof. It is impressive to watch players shoot at this range. Even when they miss, it's still so close.
Yeah,
I'm just rooting for him.
Yeah, I'm literally sitting here like, you can do it. I'm sending you energy. Okay, we're here with Moxie.
They have a poor player trapped in a little bathroom. You know, these little shacks have so many names. Many of them are not very friendly, but here the problem is there's only one way to get in and out of them, so it's very easy just to trap a player in there. And if you're trapped in there, almost your only hope is just hope they get third party. Just hope someone else rolls in and changes up the fight, because in the situation they can just sit and watch.
Yeah, and that guy actually was very lucky because Moxie and his teammate clearly didn't have any nades because they could have just gone up in there, tossed a nade over and through the door or the window up top, and easily gone. But they decided against taking that fight.
Still holding the high ground. Slav, find me one. Find me a nice long ranger.
Yeah, I guess he's got his teammate up there. He's watching his back, making sure no one comes up there.
I'd be interested if his teammate, we haven't seen Grizzly Mallard's perspective. I wonder if his teammate also has a nice long range setup here, and they're both just taking pot shots on both sides. Or if maybe he is rocking like a UMP or a Vector setup. Oh, here's a chance. Takes the shot, misses there. Another opportunity, 2 shots missed. Those are some of the most difficult ones to hit too. The ones where the player is moving perpendicular to your positioning. You have to deflect so far ahead. It's a very difficult shot to hit.
Watch that bullet drop.
Oh my goodness. Still trying to make it happen, but so far, no luck for him there. We've seen him hit 1 or 2 shots, but no kills. That Trinity's going to take out Sheriff Eli. He's down. Out for the count.
There he goes. Podato, the Loyal Patriot, holding up in a couple yellow houses, and Cucaracha, Mim Tum Tum. See? I'm going for it.
You got it. You nailed it. Well done.
Proud of me?
My question is, do they know that they are right next to each other? It looks like Podato was crouched looking through a window over towards that building, so maybe he is aware that they have some company. But right now they're both in the circle. They can hang tight for a while. Not Caliverse and Law GG over here. See.
Holding this corner.
See, now they are just underneath the mountain that Slavdorushin is heading up on top of. I don't know if the Russian knows that they have some company down below. Very, very difficult shot for either player to make, so at this point both teams are relatively safe. And we'd need to see Caliverse flank up onto the mountain if they wanted to try and take that high ground. But at this point, I think they're just waiting for the circle to come in, see where the action goes, and then make a move accordingly.
That's smart. There's 20 players left alive on...
Oh, Cucaracha got the little... Oh, so Cucaracha was able to push over and get both players on their neighboring house. As you see, Grizzly and Slav both now up on the same side of the mountain, looking down. And the Cucaracha and my Tum Tum were able to take out Podato and Loyal Patriot.
That was a good push. They had to take that fight because if they wanted to advance into the next circle, they had to make sure that they were clear to make their way in because they're going to be fighting other people already positioned within Spartan Show sitting pretty, still in that same house that they rode up in earlier.
You know, and they are in the middle of the circle again.
Beautiful.
The circle came off the mountain, so Grizzly Mallard and Slav the Russian, as well as Not Caliverse and Law, are going to have to move off of that mountain positioning. They're not going to be able to sit up there with their Car 98s anymore and just take pot shots at people. So we'll see that movement come in from the west. But right now, Spartan Show definitely in the best place to place, or definitely in the best position to place the highest in game number 2 here. Possibly take 2 in a row. That'd be pretty crazy.
Yeah, that would be great. We have Mim Tum Tum. There, it looks like they're going over there to loot up on their kills.
Right, here is Spartan Show. Pun Zip. That must be an emote. DJ Hot Wheels. You know, Dr. J Hot Wheels. You know, this is cool. He's got a nice active chat here.
Yeah, Hypes in chat, everybody. Come on, let's just broadcast Royale. What's
That's right.
up? Hypes in chat right now. What the?
There's his teammate running away.
Opening this door.
So yeah, they can just hang out there. I think maybe they're thinking about going and getting that drop. But they've got such a good
That'd be
position.
risky.
It
It'd
would be.
super risky. It's out of the circle now.
Back out.
Gotta risk it for the biscuit though, right?
Style points.
Oh please.
Ooh.
It's coming so close. This is probably my Tum Tum and Kukaracha that he's shooting down at. That one looked really good.
It did. Yo, what?
Oh, he got down! Kukaracha's
by
a
Car 98
monster!
on the other side.
Oh my goodness!
Karma comes back to knock him on his booty.
Kukaracha, after wiping that squad in the house nearby, just turns and says, "Oh, hello, goodbye. Can somebody go to his stream, please, and clip it? I want to see it from Kukaracha's perspective." My goodness. Moxie now on the reposition. He's going to find the edge of this circle, and he's in a good place. He's probably cleared out this entire southern side of the circle already, and now he can just hang tight, wait for it, wait for the players to come to him.
Yep. Just going to wait for that to close up. They might have good defilade, or they might actually be forced to be right on the forefront of it, exposing
Slav.
their position.
He's coming down. Caliverse and Law going to maybe have an angle on him here. But they're moving down as well. I don't know if they're going to look up for him.
They saw each other.
Find each other taking shots. Slav gets tagged once, gets tagged twice. Is he down? He downs Caliverse on the other end. And Law bails on his teammate, says, "See ya, bud.
Yeah.
No honor in war. I'm out of here." Slav able to heal up very quickly here. He was so close to dying. And he does actually successfully get the heal off, but now needing to move out quickly. Get back down the hill. There's his teammate.
Yep, that was good teamwork right there. He was Slav was able to heal up. His teammate came in to clean that down so they can get those 4 points to apply towards their rank here. We're only 11 players left in this circle.
Oh, Activator just Molotov'd himself. Poor guy.
Oh,
That's
no.
an unfortunate way to go. I know he's streaming. Someone will clip that one.
Yeah.
I would say I'm plugging it too much, but I don't know if you can plug it too much. It's Broadcaster Royale.
You're supposed to plug the broadcaster. That's what we're here for.
That's
We're
right.
here for the Twitch streamers.
Well, here on board with my Tum Tum, him and Kukaracha have been making a tear through squads as they came across the bridge.
No, I'm good.
And Spartan Show just hanging tight.
See
He can
that
just keep
shoulder.
waiting. Yep. That's,
Armor.
yeah, I think that's my favorite cosmetic so far. Favorite IRL cosmetic.
Maybe he hurt himself IRL. And that's
Maybe it's just Spartan
supportive.
armor, you know? I don't know. That would be the prettiest like doctor's medical brace I've ever seen.
He's covering the brace.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I can get behind that. It's Franco and Ambush, squad we haven't checked in with yet. They know that Spartan Show and Frenzy are in this house. And they're looking to see if they can find a quick pick. See Spartan Show's showing face, giving them an opportunity.
He's tapped.
Yeah, those smokes. Got to take Spartan Show out of that house. Here we have Slav the Russian. They're all healed up. Oh!
He's been taking a lot of these shots, but so far only one I think we've seen connect.
Well, the more shots you take, the odds are higher that
You miss
something
all the
happens,
shots you
maybe.
don't take,
Yeah,
right? And
exactly.
98% of the ones you do, if you're most
If you're
PUBG players.
Slav.
That's right.
Yeah, no comms.
We love you, Slav. You're the
But
best.
the new circle still has Spartan Show's house in it. They are still so secure. I bet the one after it, they will finally have to move, or maybe they will just be gifted the circle of the century.
You know what? I'm going to guess it's
Okay.
going to get half the house.
Half the house. So they're
Half.
gonna be this
It's like
hiding
yep.
with a wall. The wall's keeping them company.
I'm going to put that out there.
I like it. Oh, my Tum Tum's down. This is Kukaracha. Can he help his teammate out? Can he find the player that downed my Tum Tum?
Today's kills, 88. Come on. Oh,
I'm having trouble believing he's got 98 kills today, but maybe he's been playing. Maybe he's been streaming for a while.
this one's got 98 today. Yeah.
Look at that. Grizzly Mallard here.
Can we make it 99?
So close. Break the big 100 in this game. Oh, and here's Epic Frenzy.
There we go. There's Spartan's teammate.
Oh, he knocked himself.
Oh dear, he
Epic!
sees it up in the kill feed. Ambush, this ambush Eugene, one of the players that was trying to push in on them. Now they're gonna look, maybe push out. All the players are in their house already. Franco's
Nice.
up on top. Oh, and he got him. No, he's down and he's dead. It'll be just up to Spartan Show. They got pushed in.
Come finish me.
Oh, no, it's fine. Spartan got the other guy down. See right there. So now, and that's why, unfortunately, his teammate wasn't able to get, that backup he needed. But now it's a little 1v1.
Now Spartan Show, all alone. If he wants the repeat victory, he's gonna have to do it by himself.
Let's hold right there for now.
You see them just being patient, looking for the win. They'd love to get 2 in a row. Rushing.
That would put them so beautifully placed on the standings.
400
after 2.
points right
Yep.
off the bat just from placement. Not even including their kills. Slav looking for targets.
Making those little bunny hops. No, he's just going up and down, crouching.
Actually, he's moved out for the AK. Nope, gonna swap back. Finds another player. Come on, get this one. I believe, bud. Oh,
Ooh.
the player sidestepping. So difficult. The
You've
longer,
got to keep moving.
the reason the long range shot's so difficult, there's just so much more time for them just to move out of the way, just without even trying.
Exactly.
Now playing the rock. Oh, he shows face. I believe that one tagged him. It looked like we saw a puff of blood.
Yeah, I think he definitely connected on that one, but unfortunately not able to confirm it. Down the player.
Only 7 alive here.
Wait.
Slav,
Oh, his teammate's alive.
Slav the Russian and his buddy there, Grizzly
Grizzly.
Mallard. It's like Moxie is in the middle of the circle as well. Spartan Show. And the player who took out his team there on squad number 1 up there still moving around that compound.
Ooh, all right. Spartan, if I were a Spartan, I would have gone in a little bit later, held off. There's
Oh.
15 seconds still.
Did he get it? No!
Oh!
Taken out. Lal Franco's going to eliminate our previous winners. But here on the flank, Slav the Russian looking for that shot. Seeing if he can find Lal Franco here.
Looks like we only have one full team left, Slav and Grizzly.
Yeah, that Trinity downed right now. He could possibly be rezzed here by Moxie, but Sniper King also making a move on that edge.
Franco is seen by Slav and
He's
Grizzly.
just running. He's just trying to make the run for it. And so right now, nobody's taking shots at him. I think he has to make it in because of the circles coming.
Well, it's unfortunate because I guess Slav and Grizzly didn't know that this was a solo player. That could have been a real good push because now they're actually going to go down and meet more players than had they just rotated and followed Frenzy.
We'll see.
Then they would have been in a beautiful position.
Slav probably. Now let's see. Everybody's flanked around the bottom. So Moxie and team and company have made their way away. Everybody pretty spread out right now. Down to 3 teams, 5 alive, 2 full squads, and Lal Franco.
Oh, he got his teammate up. Okay,
He did.
I missed that. He was down.
Successfully rezzed.
I thought he was going to go to the blue.
It was close. Right now. A bunch of postulating, a bunch of positioning.
Slav and Grizzly, where they're used to positioning at the top, which I missed that part at actually my last statement. That is why they rotated away, so they could get that high ground, get the advantage. Sniper King on the right, just hanging tight.
No, Sniper
he's
King.
dead.
He is. That's gotten me a few times too, because you got to pay attention to the skull
Yep,
up on
I
top.
just saw it right after. I saw the body first.
Yep.
Thought he was prone.
Done the same exact thing. Yeah, the high ground, definitely good for giving you a position and a view of all the rest of the map, but it does also give you, everybody else can see you as well. So a little bit of, do you want to be aggressive? Do you want to force that engagement up here on the high ground? Or would you rather be on the bottom and maybe have a little bit less information, but also be hidden?
You got some trees, so they've got that going for them. Also, hopefully they've got some smoke, somebody. That should provide them some cover in any instance that they're going to need to hide from any shots.
Well, now that the circle's
Yeah.
gone over towards Franco. Franco right now benefiting from the circle, but getting flanked here as Grizzly Mallard and Slav the Russian going to try and push around. It'll probably be behind one of these trees. And with this engagement happening any moment here, oh, look at the big M249 there. Good for up close and personal.
Oh, it's about to go down.
Grizzly Mallard could just pepper him.
Oh, yep. Frenzy's in another
Oh, but
fight.
Franco has made his way into the house. He's going to just try and avoid everything. Right now, sitting alive. Oh, but then his was a little bit behind. It looks like that
Yeah.
Trinity and Moxie going to take the win. Well done to those players. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. That Trinity going to be able to take the victory. GG's there in game number 2.
Wow, congratulations. I'm sitting here looking, I'm like, wait a minute. They're not alive anymore.
Everybody died there. They can take home 200 points there on that victory, on top of whatever kills they had. Congratulations there, that squad. That Trinity going to take the win and even just that much more closer to qualifying for the finals.
Yeah, and the Spartan Show and his teammate, even though they didn't get the chicken dinner this time, still placed really well. Going to get a lot of points. They've got a few kills on that, I believe. And they're going to be sitting real pretty.
Oh, but we got to talk about Spartan Show as well, making it all the way to the end there, very, very close to the end and into the top 10 again. They're going to be racking up so many points there just off the placements.
Absolutely. And, yeah, so now, you know what? We keep telling you this, and I don't know how many times we can tell you. Spa Day Crate family,
you
get it. You need it in your life. It is free with your Twitch Prime, Amazon Prime membership. And if you don't have it, it's super easy to sign up for free right now at twitch.tv/prime. Get it. There's no excuses,
It's such
you guys.
a beautiful shade of purple, too. Look at the crate. That might be the prettiest crate I've ever seen in PUBG.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
I just want to pull the... Sometimes you want to pull the ribbon because you just want that dramatic effect, like la.
Yeah.
But sometimes you're like, no, but it's too pretty.
Absolutely.
Put it on my... Do you ever wear a bow?
Just
off
wear
a
the bow?
present?
No, I mean, I've worn a bow tie, but never on my head. That's not a thing I've done. Folks, we've gotten 2 games in the books, and we've got so much more coming up here. We're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, more PUBG action coming to you right here.
Welcome back, everybody, to Broadcaster Royale. We are here now, 2 maps down. What a wonderful way for Moxie to go ahead and take that win and his team, that Trinity. So close, though, Spartan Show, to getting that second chicken dinner in a row. Woo, that would have been so good. Really full bellies, you know? That would have landed.
All the chicken. That's what they're going for right now. And you can tell that we're starting to get to that stage where everybody's starting to get more comfortable, get a feel for how everybody's playing and going through everything, kind of getting a feel of how everybody's rotating around different parts of the map. This is where things start to get a little bit more spicy, and I really, really like it. But in addition to that, I know that we had some really awesome plays inside the last round, so really curious to see how those are going to look through.
Yeah, let's go ahead and check out those replays of some awesome and amazing moments that just happened in that last round.
And now we're over here catching just a couple of random shots as they go through. Look at the range on that shot to nail it, though.
Ooh, SLR, that's one of my favorite weapons. And Slav over here, he was taking these car 98 shots.
And this was an important part of the map because whenever they were holding that position, they were really dictating a lot of the movement for some of the lower area, like the teams in the lower area, and really forcing them to have to reposition. But it came down to a lot of close range sprays on the side of these different hills as people were pushing through, and naturally the push is inside the buildings themselves.
Yeah, this was our sole team within a structure, and they unfortunately were taken out there towards the end, and got that kill there to win the chicken dinner. I was expecting more. I wanted more kills. Slaughter everywhere. But we're about to see some more slaughter, actually, because we are going to be going to Sanhok after this. But we've got your top 20 to show you right now, the standings, if you missed it. EU region. Here we go. Perrymone's in first place.
Winghaven and Coldamenta coming through there. There's some well-known names from several games coming through and combining together. Blue Walkers 2 comes in second place. It's almost like they predicted their positioning coming through there by putting the 2 at the end of it. That's going to be LTV and Ally. With that, we got Resident Sleeper, who apparently wasn't doing too much sleeping. That's going to be Vic Rains and Hives coming through. And lastly, check this out, Cobra and L1. I can never say that right. El Wazulo coming through there. So these are our top 20 teams from the EU brackets that we were looking at just before this. Naturally, we're doing North America now, and then we've got South America to follow this up as well.
Yeah, but the top 20 right here that you're looking at is going to be advancing to the regionals. It says it right there. The top teams qualify to regional finals. They're going to meet our previous Week 1 top 20 from EU to battle it out, and only 10 of them will make it to the finals. The live finals happening at PAX West in Seattle. So right now, though, we want to make sure that you guys are paying attention. We want to make sure you guys are actually active. We want your participation in the broadcast. Send us your clips. Use the hashtag Broadcaster Royale. Clip your favorite streamer's stream. Clip this stream, whatever it is. Toss it up there on the Twitch sphere, and perhaps you'll see it right here. Broadcasters on this show one day.
So make sure you hop on social media, send that out. And additionally, if you got a little bit of downtime right now before we move into the next round, you know that we've talked about it a few times, but we're going to keep talking about it until everybody has done it and made sure to link their Twitch Prime, get everything set up, use their Amazon Prime, link it in with Twitch, get your free stuff, you get free subs, and you get free cosmetics.
Absolutely. There's really no reason, I'll repeat, no reason not to. It is free. If you do not have it right now, you're like, well, I don't understand what to do, Lucy. Go to twitch.tv/prime. Make sure to sign up right there, connect it to your Twitch account, and click the crown. You'll see at the top right of your account, there's a little crown. So where are you looking? It's like over here. It's going to be above Matrim's head-ish.
So
there's
we're
a
probably
crown
right around there.
Click it. It's going to give you a drop-down. Claim that spa day crate, and it's yours.
In addition, I saw a couple of you guys in Twitch chat. I'm calling you out right now. We're just like, oh my God, so we're just going to have to get the spa day crate. No, I don't like those cosmetics, blah, 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 blah. This is not the first set that has come through, guys. So if you have not done this before, you've already missed out on a couple of sets that have come through, and there's probably going to be more to follow. So just go ahead and do it now, so that way whenever you log in, it pops up on the corner of Twitch. You can just click on it. Go ahead and get your free cosmetics for everything to follow as well.
Yeah, you already
set up.
With
this coming through and going to Santa.
Let's go. My favorite map. I think it's a fan favorite just overall, and players too.
It's new, it's fresh, so people are just like, that's the way it always works. Everybody's just like, oh yeah, it's the new map, I love the new map. And we'll see a couple of months going into this, but that's one of my favorite places to play right there. I love playing around the temple.
Ruins, yes.
Or Ruins,
yes. You're calling out all these pre-live push.
I spent a lot of time on the PTR, I can't help it.
You did. And Temple is definitely OG Temple. Now Ruins, a very favorite place to drop. But anywhere you can drop on Sanhok because you can find yourself any AR, essentially, you're never going to go without a weapon.
So much loot on this map.
So much loot.
It's like it's like a world of difference. You go play on Miramar and you're like, hey, look, I've found some bullets. Maybe I'll find a gun sooner or later. Here it's like you land and there's like 30 guns just wherever you land.
M4 over here, M4 over there. We can all be M4.
Girl versus Dumb. That's an interesting name there that I'm sure is not going to get a rise out of anybody. Also teamed up with Fishy Cakes, doing their dive down. Looks like they're going to be heading off to the far eastern side of the map. Looks like they're going to be trying to hit one of those areas right along the coastline. But this actually is a pretty full area. You can see that there were multiple duos landing within a couple hundred meters of each other.
Right, and it's really interesting to watch how the players evolve from map to map, because you'll notice the knock is every other map, which is a much higher paced gameplay. They just came off of Erangel, which is a little slower paced, and now they're gonna get a mini reality check when they realize, oh gosh, gotta get back in the game of lootin' and scootin', I like to call it.
Well, it sounds like we're over here with Grizzly Mallard and a Russian, having a little bit of a conversation, and not necessarily the most pleased with what's going on around them. Heard a couple of slight profanities coming through there.
Oh, did you?
Actually, I think it's going to be Mega Nerd and Avajala.
Ava JJ.
Ava JJ. I'll let you say that one. And so it sounds like they were kind of caught up. Coming over here to Camp Charlie now. Everybody's posted up. Circle has posted, and it's going to be on the eastern side. Pretty centered up on the map. So it's just going to be everybody that's kind of doing this long push over towards the western side of the map. They're going to have to kind of push back through. Now, one thing to note is we do have that river that kind of runs right along the edge of the circle. So you can see that there's just going to be a couple of bridges to go through. Might see some bridge camps because there are so many teams on this far western side. They're going to have to transition over. What might be a safer option is to really circle up and around and come through the northern area.
I mean, it fires fast, but
yeah, absolutely. And the good thing about these bridges, though, too, is unlike Erangel, which is the bridges there are really long, and you can hide in there and peep up on people, creep up on them without them even knowing you're there. Here, it's a little less likely that people aren't going to realize you're hanging out around the bridge because it is typically, a little shorter.
Sixth place. Yeah.
Hey, sixth place.
Let's go.
Super excited.
Yeah.
Now, one thing to note, though, is what you were talking about with those bridges being much shorter, that means that accuracy becomes much more important. So specifically if you're running something like a 7.62 style weapon and somebody's on a vehicle, you can just tear somebody apart. Now, that being said, vehicles are kind of back and forth on this map. They can be a little bit of a death trap because of how loud they are and how much attention they draw.
Absolutely. It's pretty rare you want to get in a vehicle on Sanhok. From what we've seen with the current meta, you might get in a vehicle if you find yourself super hard shifted with the circle and you need to get out of there. But in most cases, you could really run to a circle.
A lot of pro players say that this is a map where you really just need to trust your feet and trust your aim. And so just whenever you're doing a transition, just walk it and then just shoot whatever you see around you. But you have to have the awareness to make sure that you can pull it off.
With a new truck. Ooh, that thing is zippy.
Well, there was supposed to be a vehicle that was supposed to come out on this map. Wasn't it like a tuk-tuk that was supposed to happen a long time ago? I was really excited about that.
The community is like, we want to get in these little three-wheeled buggy things.
I would just love to see how many people could flip, because let's be honest, with a three-wheeled vehicle in this, we know that the motorcycle, it had a couple of odd moments here and there. But with this, I believe that we actually have stats for positioning coming through, because you just heard everybody was yelling about where they were at in 6th place. Up at the top of the leaderboard at 461 points, we've got Honey Badger Nation right back behind that. About 50 points behind is going to be Desync, but only 15 points behind that's going to be Rebel Scum. And then about another 20 or 30 points behind that, we've got Ambush, Team Activator following that, and then Brain Goons coming through. I guess they're wanting to play this really intelligent.
Brain Goons. Or maybe they're pulling out brains. They're shooting them up. That's where
maybe they're playing zombie mode. Everybody else is playing regular mode, and they're playing zombie modes. Behind that, we've got Aztec Gaming, Team Flamingo, Regulators, and so forth going through. We'll try to keep that updated and bring it to you as much as we can. We're coming over here with our guys hanging out in Panan.
Oh, action's happening.
Somebody's energetic about it.
Yeah. He must have seen somebody. Who do we have? Looks like there's definitely another team nearby.
See, we've got that awareness. We've got the map screen as well, so we can glance out and around. You can see they're doing a little bit of information feed. Although I think that might have just been more about, hey, I think this is how we're going to have to go across. With this type of map, you're going to see a lot of people on a regular basis. It becomes really important to decide when you're going to take shots and where you're going to take shots. Again, because of the close range nature, once you take a couple of those pot shots, it's really easy to draw attention to yourself. But here's the other side of the duo that is posted up in this area. See, kind of repositioning. I kind of dig that outfit. Got the cowboy hat. How does he keep his cowboy hat around his head?
Over his, yeah.
Did he like cut a hole inside of his cowboy hat?
That's a good question.
I'm curious about the physics on how this outfit works.
Yeah, that hat. The headphones are holding it in place. It's got that little like winged action going on. Oh, it's going through.
Yeah, see, he like cut the side of it or something like that.
He put the headphones through. Amazing, fantastic. Well, it looks like he just came fresh from spa day. I mean, we've got to tell you that. Because I know there's a lot of you that just joined in, and you're wondering, hey, have they talked about the spa day crate yet?
I know that's exactly what Twitch chat's doing. They're like, I can't wait until they talk about the spa day crate again because that's my favorite part of the broadcast.
Yes, get your purple robe and head towel, flip-flops. They're fantastic, and they're really funny to see, actually, in-game. So make sure to connect your Twitch Prime to, your Twitch account to your Amazon Prime so you get that Twitch Prime action.
And one thing I want to point out is in several of the duos that we've kind of jumped in on, they've been pretty quiet, if you haven't noticed. Like, they kind of joke and do stuff like that. You can tell these guys are beaded in. There's, like, a lot of communication going back between them, making sure to kind of convey what's happening around them, but trying to wait and make sure that they pass. Like, you can tell that they're just very adamant and performing well inside of this event.
Yeah, you'd have to. I mean, everyone's probably at that point where they saw their standings, as you saw some of the streamers were realizing where they were placing now after 2 maps, and now know what they need to do. Do I need to play more passively because we're making too aggressive and we're not getting our placements? So, and therefore, if you're not living long enough, you're never going to see another body to take down, so you're not going to get your kill points either. 4 points for kills, 5 points really only differentiating between ranks, between placement, so your kills are really going to be beneficial in final standings.
I love this coming out of Sheriff Eli. Instead of going across the top of the bridge, they decide to swim down below it to avoid any potential bridge camps come up, trying to make sure to check both sides on it. You can use it as kind of a cover piece if you're careful. The only problem with it is if you make that swim across and somebody's not camping on the bridge but on one of the hills next to it, makes it really hard to get up out of that water as people are just going to spray bullets down your way.
Absolutely. And it's such a white, light beach, so it's nothing to hide in.
Well, that's always the problem. Anytime you jump into the water at any given point, and oh, look at this, we've got guns. It's got a down onto Yogi Bear off in the distance. At this point, not capable of finishing off. Yogi Bear's kind of hiding out back behind the tree. If anything, it's going to be hard for his teammate to go over and get a res onto him without a hard commitment. And you can see Sniper Rifle's already head up and in position, but I don't think that Optic Karma's going to go for it. It's just too dangerous. So at this point, just kind of hide behind the tree and really force them to stay beaded in on you to give your teammate just a little bit more time to reposition and get some information.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to rotate out. I guess he doesn't have any smokes to go for that res.
It's just the tree is just out there, and naturally he knows that he got dropped by at range to a certain degree, and you don't want to run around because there's no other real cover points around it. You do want to bounce from tree to tree and pray that somebody doesn't headshot you, or do you want to go for standing?
Look at him, he's
I
off
lean
in the
into
hills.
standings.
He's like, later, nerds!
Yep. Just get out of it, and just again see. Look how long he managed to waste the other guy's time. Now that he knows he's got the kill, so he's like, okay, nobody's going to come for this. Now I can go back to what I was doing. That's a lot of time that you're wasting for another team, and that's really important. A lot of teams don't really think about that. Is how much time can you burn off of another team?
Absolutely, and that's them pro strats. But looks like Optic Karma's going to rotate around and maybe either try to get position on the other guy at the ruins there to get position on him, because that's really the good move. You got to get out of there. You got to get into the new circle and fight whoever else is going to be trying to sneak their way in from the blue.
Well, we do have the circle that has popped up, and it's again following that eastern push. Still, a lot of this is going to be water, which means that there's not going to be a lot of real estate really to kind of work with inside of this. With 68 people still up and alive, that's going to slowly force everybody to just kind of migrate closer and closer, specifically around the center area and the southern areas of the map. There's going to be a lot of people kind of condensed together. They could lean up. That means the fact that if the circle shifts away from that spot, a lot of these guys could end up in these very long, entangled fights, and we could see a very massive drop in players very quickly.
Absolutely. Moxie here taking his time, clearing out buildings with his teammate, Dat Trinity.
Dat Trinity.
Dat Trinity, not the Trinity.
I'm kind of curious as to what Dat Trinity is. Like, what is the Trinity that is that?
Oh, I don't know. What is Dat? See what I did there? Okay,
I was with you. So we got to kind of see everybody's getting a little post up, doing the information gathering at this point. Everybody's slowly making their way towards the new safe zones.
I'm looking at his hair, though. Moxie's hair on point.
I'm kind of curious about what product he uses to keep it like that. I mean, that takes a lot of effort.
Chat, tell us. Ask Moxie what he puts in his hair.
And now back over here with our
the Bear Jew
Live and his duo partner. We're right now watching him keep bouncing back and forth between these two guys. I think that they might be fairly close to each other. I think close enough to where they might be able to take a couple of pot shots here in just a second. But I think that the hillside's going to kind of prevent, based off of the movement that we're seeing.
These are some ballsy moves, though, right here. They're just running through the open.
Well, they're still staying near terrain,
I
at
mean,
least. You can see
this
he's
is
kind of
still-
navigating between trees back and forth. But yes, going up
Yeah.
these hillsides is very, very dangerous.
He's just right in the middle. I mean, he has a mountainside right there. He could have perhaps hugged up and given himself a little better cover. But hey, I mean, look, he's still alive.
But it's
Still
good to
made
go
it.
on the southern approach. Since he's doing a southern push right now, most of the teams are going to be coming over from the west. If you kind of crest up and you have your back
No, I didn't want him
over to
going
the
up.
west, yeah.
I wanted him up against the base of that mountain
Oh,
to
and
use
catch
the
people as
mountain
they come
as
up?
the cover.
Yeah.
So that way he knew his left was covered and only had to pay attention to his right, 6 and forward.
And now we're starting to see everybody slowly inching together. You can see we're over here with the Bear Jew live, but if you look down on the mini-map, we got Lowell Franco just in one corner of it. We got another duo posted up just to the north that's making their way in, as well as 2 other duos also in a position, getting a line of sight over on the truck as it's making distance, making a switch over to a DMR, trying to hit a couple more shots, but it looks like they go a little wide.
That was that truck I was talking about, the Roni. Let's go, zipped on through. See, it's like, yes, you give away your position. It's very loud, but with that zippy new Roni, you just fly right through.
I'm still not necessarily. I think it's still a little dangerous to take the
is.
vehicle,
It
and
is.
like with the way that this map is it's so small that I think that there's a lot of opportunities. So anytime you opt into a vehicle, you know the fact that they're having to do a long rotate, or that there was somebody that was probably just next to them and they needed to get out of dodge as quick
Right.
as possible.
Right. Moxie had that serious look on his face. Now we're
Yeah.
with Halifax and Visions. See, I got it this time. Visions.
Now, these are these shifts.
Say, listen, Halifax knows what's up. He's talking about how the shifts are going to come through, how it's important. So playing along coastline ends up being one of the safer spots. 60 people alive means that they're all going to be condensing around about 1,500 kilometer area on the western side of the circle. So that's going to make it to where a lot of these duos are going to run into each other unless you're moving very, very early. And that's why they're opting into this position that they're doing now. Halifax and his teammate Visions, they're already trying to make it over towards the safe circle with 53 seconds. So instead of playing the edge, they end up with a lot more safety and not caught in that brunt rush that everybody's going to be doing.
Yeah, absolutely. We see everyone is pretty much deciding to stay covered with that blue zone to their back, using that as cover.
We have
best they
so
can, but they're
many
all gonna be
people
next
that
to each
are
other.
not inside of the safe zone
Yeah,
at this
absolutely.
point.
Look at them. I mean, they're all just right. They're hovered. Stream, you can't see it, but they are all right there on the edge. They're going to be facing each other here very shortly.
I love this coming out of the Loyal Patriot and his duo partner. They're doing a push over towards the east, kind of staying near the circle, but trying to get away from where they know is going to be a hot zone. This becomes the problem. Whenever you're playing one of those edge strategies, now you're going to be moving in far behind all these other duos that are going to have good positioning coming through. Like, look at the map right now. Look at how many people are in the south and all going to be kind of converging into one point. A lot is placed along the west side. All of these duos are kind of forced right up on top of each other. Either that or playing inside the blue, and naturally you don't want to take that tick damage. You don't want to burn the meds unless you absolutely have to.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, there's pros and cons to both. Get in circle, get ready, or stay out, come in, be where you're least expected to perhaps be from others. And gosh, it's just, you've got to be real confident with your shots because it's a,
Ooh,
G-Mart.
nice shots coming out of G-Mart there. And an instant drop onto Loyal Patriot. Duo partners having to run back and retreat. Just can't even make it over to the tree. Some solid aim coming out of G-Mart there.
Oh, his teammate, he was so sad. He was like, dang it.
That's Sanok, though. People just pop out of nowhere. You're like running along. It's like, oh, it's so nice and quiet. And then just somebody's dead.
Exactly, absolutely. And that's what makes Sanok so much fun to watch. You never know what's around the corner or over the bend. Slav to Russian, always with a sniper in hand, or he's got a SKS
Yes.
with his hands.
Running the DMR. I mean, it's a variant sniper rifle.
Yeah.
Just, it's got some distance to it. It just got a little bit more of a push on it. Uh-oh, Bear Jew gets taken down back behind this. So it means he knows that if there's close range fire. Did manage to make it over there, but bleeding out very quickly. Spray comes out, having to retreat back around the hillside. Nice shot. I said retreat around the hillside. Retreating back around that little wall there. So it's going to be making it over. Can he make it in time? Don't punch him.
Get up.
He's going to
Dude,
make it.
I've literally done that before. I'm like, come here. Top 5. Not even kidding. Top 5. Come here. And I go, I'm going to get you. Just come closer. And I punch my teammate. That's all it took, and he died.
Give him the little bit of disrespect
It's-
there at the end.
Yeah, oh gosh. It's if there's any of my community in chat right now, they already know what's up. They're all dying right now.
Oddly enough, with the way that everything's set up, we're going to be around the Camp Bravo location, and nobody is inside of Camp Bravo as of right now. 41 people alive. I think it leads back into what we were talking about before, and you assume that somebody's already going to be there, so it's a very dangerous point to push, and some great shots coming out from Sheriff Eli. That's some nice range on there. Trying to get the down onto it. Looking off the side.
Guys in the house 230.
That's why I love the M4, the versatility of the close ranged action, and also you can hit those ranged shots a little bit better, or still.
See, it's a lot about information gathering at this stage. So many people are trying to run down that hillside. New circle has popped, so there's still a lot of teams right along the edge. Actually, still a lot of teams outside the blue kind of caught in these little mini fights, trying to make their way inside the edge right now. So we popping over here with the Russian, who's actually outside the blue, one of those guys we were talking about, trying to make their way slowly inside the circle. Actually going to pull back out and retreat, back over here and grab the UAZ.
See, yep.
This
Get
is,
in there,
this
go
is the
fast.
point where you have to take it. I mean,
Yeah.
you just know the fact that the circle is going to be on the exact opposite side away from him. Now, nice shots coming out from Sheriff Eli, trying to get the down. Now caught off by himself, and it's going to be Halifax that gets the down and the kill on that.
QBZ. I love those. The QBZ, the QBU, specific to Sanok. Oh my gosh, those are such great weapons.
Now it's starting to pop off in this area as everybody's going to have to make their trek a little bit more towards the north. Got bodies just rolling down hillsides here. Halifax and Visions making their way up the hillside.
That's a great way to break up a serious moment where you're just like, yeah, we just had an engagement, roar, and then you see a ragdoll just like rolling down the hill.
It's the slow roll down the hill. It always gets me. It just makes me smile. The only thing
can't
that's better
help but
than that is whenever you see like a vehicle that's just been destroyed slowly rolling down the
Yes.
hill as well.
Now that they move, oh my gosh, that's amazing. Remember before though they would kind of like chill on the side?
Oh, yeah,
of
they
the
kind of like pop up and then just like hang out
stay.
there.
Now they roll, and that's amazing. I've actually killed my teammates doing that before too. You might see a theme here.
Well, we saw an amazing thing with that with PGI, where somebody blew up a vehicle and it rolled back down on top of somebody that was hiding behind a tree.
Yes.
Just PUBG things. Just
Yeah.
PUBG things.
Hashtag
Gotta
PUBG
have the
things.
awareness.
And you guys better be capturing that too.
real
Stuff like
people
that's happening on your streams that you're watching. Your favorite streamer
wouldn't
who
even shoot
or
at
who
them.
have you. Clip it. Hashtag broadcaster Royale. Don't forget to use it. 29 people left alive. Circle's getting smaller and smaller, and this is what's amazing. It's like this is a tiny circle, tiny, and everyone has been doing their best to just hide and make it to the end here. 29 people.
Well, a lot of these teams had to get caught in those firefights, as we saw, specifically in the areas along the west and the southern portions of the circle. And that's going to be our law going down. Nice shots coming out from distance there. I was going to say I thought it was Optic Karma, but I think it was actually further away from that.
Oh, it's Moxie and Dad Trinity still alive. Strong duo. They're no stranger to a competitive match of PUBG.
But there was a
I have to say, it's true. He uses the exact same font as the number of people alive, and I keep looking up there, and I was like, there's not 501 people alive. Oh, wait, that's
Oh,
the
yikes.
subs. Keeps throwing me off.
That's actually gone up since we started broadcasting. Hurrah, good for you, Moxie.
Everybody going and checking him out, getting them some extra attention.
Yes.
That's what this event is about. Go check out these guys if you have not had a chance to. See anybody that's doing anything cool or anybody you think that might be kind of funny, anything that's interesting, piques your interest, please make sure that you go check out their channels. Give them a little bit of love. With this, we've got the new circle up, and nobody is inside it at the direct time. But we do have Dat Trinity's going to be right on the edge of it, but there is a duo right next to him getting caught into a little bit of a skirmish. Long-range fight is happening. They're just trying to pepper in some bullets there and actually do get it down off of it.
Nice. That's actually, they're in a really good position. They've got this little bit of building still in the new circle that they're going to be able to hold down and just get that angle. They're taking out anybody that's trying to advance on their territory so they can secure that their 6 is clear, which you can't really, you got to assume you're not clear on Sanok, really, because just...
At this point, with 22 people alive inside of a circle such as this, with all of these rocks, trees around, you have to assume that anybody can be at any angle. That's where it makes it a little bit more nerve-wracking because you have to be very, very keen. Like you can see right now, they called it out. They're like, hey, we've got somebody here. They're trying to beat in. But you have to be careful not to tunnel vision too hard because a third party can just spray you from the outside if you are not careful.
That's literally what this map's about.
Yes.
Third party. And that's the best way, too, is really you just stay out of sight. You hear the shots go down.
It's actually a pretty good Molotov. Force him back on the retreat off the tree. A couple bullets now coming back out his ways. Got a little bit of a peek to what's going on. Hollow's trying to line up this shot. Does have himself a very nice sniper rifle to work with. So it's all going to come down to the fact that if he can hit that first shot off of it.
He's going to go back up here, it looks like, to make sure that nobody was coming up. He's going to take some hops and try to see if anyone's heads are popping up. Oof.
Going a little bit wide there. Do have them held off. Keep in mind they are on the outside of the circle right now, so any damage that they're going to take is just going to add on to whatever bullets do also connect. So just trying to line up. I really like this. The repositioning, trying to make sure that they know, okay, they're going to have to run this direction. Good use of the hill, though, to retreat over the side, try to get a little bit more separation.
They've actually got a really good defilade here with this ridge line, or this little hill. Rocked cover. Circle shifts on them, however. It's not that far.
Got Toxin caught up in a little bit of a fight with Dat Trinity. Dat Trinity's taking a lot of damage, does get down. So we got Clumsy trying to move forward with that, and we also do have Bear G Live that does get looks like he's going to be able to get a res onto his teammate.
Got an Insta?
Insta.
Oh, wait. Okay, now here comes the push on the outside. This is what it's all about. Once you get that down, you have to make sure to capitalize on it. You don't want to give them the time to get any time of res, meds, anything like that. We do have another duo slowly creeping their way in, and yes, you can see that going for that res allowed this duo to run right up on top of him. So now they're going to get a little bit more loot out of this deal, and that drops us down to 12. I understood a couple of those
you
words.
Did?
Yep.
Oh, see, I wish I did.
We'll just say that they're very energetic right now.
They're very energetic. They're hype. We've got a few buildings still left in the new circle. Lots of fights happening right outside. Fox takes out Machine Gunner, one of our favorites.
Oh, he's lit. One shot.
We're coming over here with Hollow up above,
Yeah.
so that means the fact that he has to immediately push against this wall, so that way he buys any type of angle, trying to deny kill points back. Kefri looks like he went down to the blue zone there.
Oh, Moxie goes down. Looks like Machine Gunner got back up.
You sure he was down and not that knockout?
Yeah, he's down. No, he's down.
No, Machine Gunner is down and out. He looks like he was the last member of his teammate, but of his team. We do have a couple of people that are getting caught into a fight. As it's going to be Pokolol's kind of pushing on the outside.
Oh,
looks
we're
like
seeing a delay. That's why.
kind of got a little bit caught there.
Ooh.
You got a play zone? Where is he?
Now here comes the risk. You can see that there is the potential for a res. There is a little bit of an overhang right where they're at, but they're so caught up. You can tell that they're afraid of anybody that could be encroaching on them from above, because that's where the call out from the kill went. So they're just trying to make sure that nobody can sneak up back behind them.
Yeah, and you know, these hills, because what I said before in last map on Erangel is about height advantage. However, on Sanhok, these hills are very unique. They have such a steepness to them. So even if you have height advantage, it's not actually at an advantage. You might not see the person that's below you, and they see you because your head is popped up. Boom. Now the person that's below.
That's one of the reasons why I love playing this on first person instead of third person. In third person, it just feels like you can look around anywhere.
Yeah.
Got Sniper King. Looks like he managed to find himself a little home. New circle does pop up, and is smack dab, I believe. Oh no, just to the left of, just to the right of where Sniper King is positioned at.
Yeah, and they're gonna. Everyone's assuming somebody's already occupying that building.
But whenever you're in a position like this, I almost think it's better to play the outsides of the buildings and try to get a little bit more control around them. It's weird on this map because everything's got those little stilts so people can shoot your feet.
All right, moving in.
But here we go with Girl versus Dumb and Fishy Cakes. Still a duo, strong and alive, 7 people up, so having duo is very good at this point. Lined up a couple of shots and does get the down onto one of them. You know, kind of give him a little bit more breathing room, but walks right around into a duo. Spray goes a little bit outside. I don't think that he got the down onto that.
Oh, yeah, Hollow and Fox. Gosh, correct me, please. Is it Fox? What is it? It's 7-0XX. How do I say it?
Left side, I think.
I don't know. We'll go with Fox.
Fox.
We'll have to say that. Hollow, if you're watching this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fox.
Right side again?
Hollow.
Right side?
They're in a really great advantage. They saw the two that were just creeping up on the side of this building, took them out.
And managed to capitalize at a good point because that was also the same time that Sniper King was doing push on the other side of it. Love this. Use the Molotov. Throw it through the little point there. Gonna make it a little bit hard for Toxin's res to come through. He's got some shots as Fishy Cakes is still getting caught in this fight where you can see your teammates dead off the background. Girl versus Dumb. So now they're just doing peak battles back and forth, and Clumsy does manage to get the kill on it. I'm surprised that Hollow doesn't choose to make any movement on that. That could allow for a res here if not careful.
Yeah, there might not be. They might have missed that Toxin's down. Clumsy over here. It's essentially a 2v1. So if Hollow and Fox made this proper push, they flanked around. Imagine right here, the boom, they would have taken him out. But they're playing it extra safe.
And that's the thing about it. They heard the firefight. They know it's 4 people. Like we know the fact that it's a 2v2 at the direct time. They don't necessarily know that. It could end up being a 2v1v1. So they're trying to play off of what information they have. They can see the dead body. Peak does come around. That's going to draw attention back. They now have at least awareness of where one teammate is at. So how do they make any play off of this? Do they continue to hold this angle? Got to make sure that they hit the shots. There's a little bit of a peak going back and forth. Trying to line up the shots, going a little bit wide. It's just about who's got the better aim, who can line this up, as long as they just keep doing this peak battle. Sooner or later, somebody's going to have to either go for a reposition or a flank on this. And it looks like it's just going to stay down to a peak battle. They trust their aim on this. Clumsy's on the outside. Finally, we can see Hollow just go for a little bit of a push, gets it down onto Clumsy, but it's going to come through. Nade knocks down one, so we're back down into a 1v1. Toxin steps around and gets the shots.
Wow, that was amazing. I was so worried for Toxin right there because he walked out into the blue, and at this point, the blue is chunking.
Yeah.
So he came into that fight with a deficit of his health, but he actually came out on top to take the win. Aztec Gaming, congratulations.
They've been playing right around. They're in that leaderboard position. They're in that top 5 spot. This is going to be great for them. You know, the fact that they've been being very active through this, so you know that they have to have a lot of kills moving forward, and that's really could propel them up the leaderboard.
Exactly. Whoa, that was amazing. My heart is actually racing like I was in it. No lie. Like, I enjoy watching everyone play, right? But this one got me right there.
Oh, it's whenever it gets down to those last couple of moments and there's everybody going back and forth and we have that prolonged peak battle. I just love it whenever it comes down. Like PUBG, there's nothing better than the last couple of circles of PUBG.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys, we're going to head to a real quick break, but you know what? This is a great opportunity for you guys to connect your Twitch Prime Spot A crate to your account. Why not? It's free. And if you don't have it, you're like, what is this? Go to twitch.tv/prime. Check it out. Get it for free. Hashtag for free in chat right now, if you know what I'm saying. So make sure to go get that. You guys, stick around. Don't go anywhere. Connect all the things. We'll see you when we get back.
Welcome back to Broadcaster Royale, folks, presented by Twitch Prime. We've got some spa day crates. We've got some amazing stuff for you here. I'm joined here by Matchroom. I'm not going to lie, in that last game, I was rooting hard for Holo to win. Holo and Fox.
No bias, though, right?
Didn't
no
take
caster
it, no,
bias.
very biased.
No caster bias.
I wasn't casting, so I could just be biased. I just wanted my friends to win.
Hey, well, I mean, that's kind of the nature of this event. You're
Yeah.
supposed to be emotionally invested in these streamers, so
That's right.
you're just doing exactly what you're supposed
That's right.
to do.
I'm just being a good Twitch viewer.
Hopefully everybody that's viewing this as well is also emotionally invested inside of what happened inside the last rounds, because we still have several more to go.
Got
But
several
before
more.
we get to that, I want to take a quick look at what just happened inside the last round.
Now let's see how it went down. These guys, there was supposed plenty of good action here. And look at that, a quick double kill there from Kuda. Halifax also getting peppered, but I'm able to get the kill on Sheriff Eli. See you later, bud. Back to spectating.
Oh, and here we go. Bearju trying to get was trying to get that shot off, gets it, comes back around, and you can see a hard push followed up immediately to get him down. Pokolol's getting taken down on the outside distance. Well, you can see Sniper King, nice positioning here. Tries to get the double, but just can't quite connect onto it. And that leads into our final round here with your boy doing a brave step forward. Takes a little bit of damage, but walks right back over into a nade. I love Toxic steps out, takes a little bit of blue damage just to get the information and land the shots.
Yep, take the push. You know, you got an advantage on a player being down. The other team's having to recalculate what happened there. Nah, just flank around, get the kill, and they'll get that win. So close one there for Holo and company, but they'll have to play another game. We'll get into game 4, I believe we're going into here.
Yes.
So coming up here quickly, folks. EU standings, though. How did the things go down in Europe? Got just a few squads able to take that top spot. Perry Moans, Blue Walkers 2, and Resident Sleeper there in the top 3.
And you got to make sure to check this out. I mean, I just love players on names, especially in EU. They're so well known for it. Unknown player is not going to be unknown for too long. Then we got Flank, WTSP coming through there, Archmage, Camp to Win, apparently Camp to Win performing quite well. Camping could be performing well for him, and Exit to Lobby coming in 10th.
Exit. They didn't do too much exiting to the lobby, seeing as they came in 10th place. So good for them.
Maybe they
you know?
send people as on,
That's right.
That's
our job. Our job is to make you click that exit to lobby button. Are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. I have to go back to the lobby. That's unfortunate. I've never heard of Zedon or Galaxy CSGO. They're pretty unknown players. Yeah.
Nobody's ever heard of them
That was
at
about
all,
the
right?
That was about the cheapest joke I could have gone for right there.
You
but,
gave me a
know,
look for a second.
right.
I was like, are you being... Please be facetious. Yes. I mean, we've got a couple of hidden people inside of this that you were talking about, like not necessarily most known for playing PUBG. That you noticed one of them just a second ago.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, here in North America, be keeping your eye on Karma and Yogi Karma, one of the most winning, probably I think he's the most winning Call of Duty player of all time. Here playing in PUBG as well. Excited to see how far they can make it.
And if you want him to win, this is the perfect time. Make sure you guys let us know who you think is going to win. Do the hashtag Broadcaster Royale. Let us know the teams, or the duos in this case, that you think are going to perform and going to come out with those top couple of spots.
For sure, yeah. I mean, I want Holo to win. I'm tweeting about hashtag Broadcast Royale.
Do it.
Holo and Fox. Let's see them get the victory. I'd love to see them get the victory in a nice bathrobe too. You know, the Spa Day crate. Can't miss out on that, folks. Twitch Prime. You get a free crate, free items every month with Twitch Prime. That comes with an Amazon Prime account. You just gotta link the 2 accounts. It's free stuff. If you've got Amazon Prime, you've got this already. It costs you no more money. And look at the cool bling you could be wearing.
I just love the stances from these guys. Like they're full GQ model with this. They're
Have you
just
ever
like
gotten
busting it out.
Have you ever gotten out of the shower and just like stood in the mirror like, So, you know?
I don't think that I ever
I've
have.
never
I
done
don't
that
think
either.
I've ever gotten to that stage. Like, I also don't think that I've ever like put my hand on my hip and like shifted this far out, like how those people stand. Like,
yeah. No, I get out and I like turn sideways and like, oh dear. Okay.
No, I'm starting to get the dad bod going on, so I don't do that either. So,
but you know what?
Just retreat back behind this. Nobody can see.
There are things that they make to help you hide that dad bod, like a bathrobe that you can get with Spa Day crate, Twitch Prime. Super easy, chat. I don't know why all the people in chat haven't already gotten their Spa Day crates.
I'm pretty sure that they already have, based off of what I've been seeing in chat. But guys, we're not going to stop.
We have to keep telling you about the Spa Day crate. You understand? It's why they pay us to tell you about the Spa Day crate. You've got to get it. Got to get the Twitch Prime. Do you have Twitch Prime?
Of course.
Who do you give your sub to right now?
I usually rotate between people that are on like upcoming with it, so that way give them a little bit of extra money. You know, like, give them a chance to actually like. I always like to use it to kind of give to the community and people that are moving up. Like, I've got a couple of people that I do have reoccurring subs on, but if I like jump into a channel, I'm like, I've never seen this person before. Is that cool? I always give it to them.
Yeah, no, my favorite thing to do is to go into a stream once it's up and like give them a challenge. Like, I'll sub if you win this game. I'll sub if you get a double kill. I'll sub if you do that.
You have to earn my love.
Yeah,
that's essentially what you're saying.
And then they'll be like, oh, I did it. You got a sub now. I'll be like, you earned it, Twitch Prime. They'll be like, oh, that's not a full-time sub, but you know what? It's okay. I'm like, hey, it counts. You got my Twitch Prime sub for the month.
Just give them the letdown right inside of there. But speaking of what we've got going on here, we've got Miramar, which is a very interesting map. Given the fact that we keep bouncing back and forth Sandhawk so much, this has got a lot more land mass to it. So there's a lot more position points to play around, different places that you can go for loot. But that also kind of becomes the inherent downside in it. It means it makes it a little bit more difficult to try to get some of these transitions because anybody could be everywhere. Like in the last map, anybody could be anywhere within 10 feet of you. In this map, you just have no idea where anybody could be at.
We talked about the foliage on Sandhawk and how much of it there is and how it's easy to hide behind bushes and trees and grass. And there you will be hard-pressed to find a blade of grass anywhere on Miramar. This place is Spartan. And we'll see all the players dropping and going north right now. We'll see see where they choose to go in this desolate wasteland.
Are you a Miramar hot dropper? I know some people prefer going like Hacienda or like Mikado. Are you more like the strategic, let's drop somewhere and like slow make our way?
My favorite way to play right now is to drop as soon as possible and just go wherever is the nearest place, just to like experience all the edges of the map. And if there's a lot of people there, cool, more action. I enjoy the hot dropping though, because then if you get some kills, good, you enjoy the game, and if you don't, well then you just start over, you know.
Well, see, I like have this big push. I love going Picado, and it looks like several other people enjoy going Picado. You want to know why I like to go Picado and why I like to talk about Picado?
Why is that?
Because it's not a boxing ring. Everybody calls it a boxing ring. It's a luchador arena. People look at the posters on the side.
Are you sure it's not a circus?
Grab the truck and go.
I want to see some elephants here in Miramar. So this is maybe my new favorite stream that I found today. A Boot Gaming. They've got custom hats already. And dude, they blew past their sub goal. Last time we saw them, they were at 1 of 4. They're at 7 of 4. They've sold 6 subs.
Hey, look at you guys going and supporting these streamers.
I bet they got some Twitch Prime subs from that.
I hope that they did.
I bet they did.
Because that's naturally, go give those out. I know we've been talking about the all of the spa day crate stuff, but go use those free.
Absolutely. If you're just getting the spa day crate and you haven't used your Twitch Prime sub, like you're doing it wrong. Like,
I mean, it's free. All you have to do is just click the little thingy and go, hey, here, you get it. The only problem with it is you have to remember to give it back to them.
It's the one catch. You have to remember to use it because it doesn't auto-renew.
And look at all of these people that look like they're going towards El Pozo. This is one of these things that can happen in PUBG once in a while. You're like, okay, we're playing in a competitive arena. We don't want to drop anywhere that's too hot, so let's go to this place. This place isn't normally too hot. And then everybody has the exact same idea. It just ends up stacked on top of each other. Meanwhile, the one team that's brave enough to go to Los Leones, because you know it was right next to the plane path, they were like, no, everybody's going to go to Los Leones. And there's just a duo sitting there like, all of this is ours.
This is welcome to our house. We saw that with Military Island in game number 2 as well. Only one team went to military base, and then they got a military circle, so everybody came back to military base, and they were already sitting there waiting to take it all over.
Waiting arms, just like, hey, bring me your kills, all of them.
Quarter J picking up two med kits there, or 2 first aid kits, excuse me.
And no backpack kit. That always sucks. Whenever you find like med kits and like a full first aid kit or something really nice, and you're
I'm picturing her character walking around with like 2 big first aid kits underneath both arms, trying to hold a Uzi in the end.
Well, she's got the vest, and the vest gives you like a little bit more carrying capacity, so she just has like them stuck in the little pockets hanging out.
What pocket fits a first aid kit? That thing's huge.
Oh, doing a quick spin around, getting a look at what all is happening around us. You can see normal Miramar stuff. Everybody's got a little house or 2 to themselves. But with as close as a lot of these guys dropped, could be problematic because Miramar, again, not known for the highest amount of loot. It's got a little bit of... If you want to get exactly everything you want, you have to hit a lot of different locations or spread out, kind of rotate around. If you end up with a lot of people dropping next to you, that really does limit that. So now you're dealing with kind of more of the attrition war kicking off much earlier inside the game because do you have the meds? Do you have the armor? We were just talking about somebody doesn't even have a backpack or a helmet yet.
But getting a backpack, not getting a backpack early is because it's one of the most frustrating things. It's like, yes, you're not allowed to play some of the game yet until it's like you're unlocking the ability to get the stuff you need to play the game. But folks, here in North America, we want to know who's on top and who's not. The standings are ready after the first 3 games of play. Take a look at who is up there on the top. Who you think is going to be?
I'm thinking a pretty good chance it could be Aztec Gaming. They were doing pretty well in the last couple of rounds, and then they got a win inside the last one with several kills. So I know that they have to be at least top 3. Now it's just a matter of did they manage to encroach on that 50-point leaderboard positioning that we saw from last round.
Yeah, for sure. Spartan Show had a good game number 1 and then made it pretty far into game number 2 as well. So he'll probably be up high with his buddy there. So we'll get those standings to you. And we'll be able to see who's up there on top. But right now,
it feels weird.
Modern Life. That's another great one. Love
with Krendor. Krendor is like one of my favorite people on the side of Twitch.
Oh, yeah?
Just because he's been part of the community for content generation for so long.
Like one of my favorite
old World of Warcraft person. It's always weird whenever you pop in and it's like, oh, Krendor isn't fishing. He's playing PUBG.
Krendor there. He doesn't need a webcam. Just relies on his gameplay to carry his content there.
And this is the feels bad of Miramar right here.
Exactly.
Whenever you're having to run Miramar, Toxin,
ready to go across
Clumsy,
the street
we feel you, man.
There's no cover. There's no way to hide. You just gotta pray that nobody looks over your direction with some long-range weaponry.
And you have to run so far on this map because keep in mind it is roughly the same size as Orangel, but it doesn't have any of the water. It's not an island. It's all landmass. So if the circle goes really far to the south, like this time around, and you went to the north, then you're on foot for quite a while.
Yeah, just gotta find a vehicle. He's got a nice roadster there.
Get yourself one of the Murados, because I can hear it in the background.
Yeah.
Oh, I love the sound of that
Hear
car.
that 8-cylinder just purring.
Exactly. It's probably my favorite vehicle to drive in PUBG, hands down.
Do you have a real life dream vehicle?
A real-life dream vehicle? No. I'm old now.
Okay.
So really, I'm just like, as long as it's affordable, that's what matters to me.
I got you. You've moved on to the comfort and accessibility stage of car ownership.
There was a very long period of time where I really wanted a 1978 Corvette.
Oh boy.
Get the whole fenders going on it, everything else like that with the T-tops. But then I realized I live in Texas, and it has really bad air conditioning. So no, I'll pass on that. I'll take a newer car.
In Texas, I feel like sports cars just look a little bit more ostentatious. It's a little bit more like, come on, man, you're trying too hard. You know, like here on the West Coast, very much it's a car culture. Everyone's got something cool, but in Texas, it's like, just drive a truck like the rest of us, man. Come on, you know?
Just drive anything that's new that has good air conditioning, otherwise you will die.
You know what else is new, folks? Spa Day crates for Twitch Prime. You can get one of those. You didn't see that transition coming, did you, chat? Go and get that crate. Use your Twitch Prime. You know you want it. You know you want 2 of them. Yeah,
all of the Spa Day crates. You just want all of them. That's the way to get it at this point. I mean, we just have like this running theme. I didn't even realize it. We'll have to make sure to mention that next time we do a Spa Day crate, because I'm pretty sure we're going to talk about it again. But the whole set actually is color coordinated to the Spa Day crate.
It's like it's all coordinated around Twitch. You know, it's crazy.
Who would have thought that this whole Twitch event is really just built around Twitch stuff?
For sure, for sure. Now, I just upgraded my Ford Explorer to a Mustang, and I have that is my new fun car. I don't drive it like this though.
I was gonna say, hopefully you fare a little bit better than that. Coming back over with Visions and Crazy and taking a couple of shots back and forth. You can see Pokeballs on the outside, but here we go. Halifax has come up to provide a little bit of cover. That's going to force Crazy Amelia to kind of retreat back. Not a lot of damage coming on, knocking down to about half. Vision's at the same point. Pokeballs doing a good job of just kind of peeking through that corner. I'm not sure if Halifax knows the location. Visions wouldn't be able to see that angle.
He nailed Halifax in the face. The Cowboy hat didn't help for anything. Oh, and they're both dead. Pokeballs getting knocked as well, but it'll be Crazy Amelia that comes out in the end with the victory. Tough one there for Visions.
And an easy res to come out there, and going to go out there and pick up all of their little Christmas presents laying on the ground. And we got the Bear 2 driving off in the background.
I hope they pick up the Cowboy hat.
Oh, yes.
I want to see
important.
You know, it's Cowboy hat over level 2 helmet every time.
Since you've pointed out the fact that he has the coolest camera, every single time we like pan over here, what happens in PUBG stops, and I just get rolled by the slowly moving camera.
It's a little fun fact, he helps a lot of the big streamers with their setups as well, because this is just what he does. He is so good at this stuff.
So he leans into his name Activator. He activates people becoming like Twitch superstars.
I'm trying to remember now. I think he worked on one of the Transformers movies as well. He's done like professional camera work on AAA productions. So if you're into camera stuff, this is the streamer for you, folks. Go find Activator. He's a cool guy.
And if you're into fuzzy hats,
oh, this is the man for you.
This is the man for you right here. Bear Jew Live.
Yes.
I'm kind of curious. Does the hat ever like? I wish they would tweak it down, or maybe like make it talk or do something.
I thought you were saying like because it's a puppet, can he stick his hand up and make the mouth go like, oh, thanks for subscribing with Twitch Prime. I like how he wrecked his roadster car, and now he's in a motorcycle. He's like, all right, next vehicle.
I mean, okay, the Murado is really nice, but let's be real. This map, probably the most efficient thing to drive on it is the motorcycle, just because it opens up so many easy pathways. This is the best way to get around on that map. Don't get me wrong, Murado is a close second. And
oh my goodness, these guys are so close to each other. Kukaracha just blasts Moxie in the face. See you later, bud. He'll be able to raise Tum Tum, and it looks like he got Trinity as well. It's the winners of 2 games ago, I believe, or no, last game. No, it was 2 games ago. 2 games ago. Yes. Yeah. It was the last game I casted.
Back over here with Krindor. It looks like they're slowly making their way. I think that they're inside the circle. It looks like they're on the outskirts of Los Leones at the direct time. Yeah, you can see down on the mini-map now as they're making their way down towards the south. We've still got a lot of people that are not yet inside the safe zone, but that's kind of expected. It's just Miramar things. It's going to take a bit for everybody to kind of make their long way down there. A couple of people still at about 2 kilometers that they need to cross to make it inside the safe zone. That's a bit of a trek.
And nobody caught in the blue just yet, but it looks like at least one squad will shortly be riding in the lightning.
Now, what's interesting is, if we can get the map for just a second, we have a very odd little occurrence that's happening right now that you don't actually see happen too much inside of Miramar. And there is a duo in boats.
Oh, they are. They're on the outside.
They're transitioning around the outside of Miramar and making their way all the way down to the south. This map doesn't have a ton of water inside of it, so a lot of boats don't get that much play.
I wonder if they went out to the islands and looted those as well, kind of for some uncontested chances and weaponry.
I'm not even certain. Based off the angle they're approaching from, highly possible, but uncertain. But
Podato here on our screen was getting some love in chat. He's a very American streamer, as you can tell. Some people in chat were suggesting his guns probably have guns.
I would venture to say, yeah. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. He is a loyal patriot.
Absolutely.
Again, I'm from Texas.
I have a Texas flag hanging on my wall. I'm not going to lie.
If you're from Texas, that's the way you are. But you see, chat, we're sorry. There's 2 Texans here, so we're going to talk about Texas and these types of things a lot. Hey, look, now we can talk about Sniper King and Biznap. They're on the boats down there.
I don't think Sniper King's on the same team as D-Rich and Biznap. Or is it D-Rich that's on a different... Oh, he's on a
Sniper
vehicle,
King and Biznap are on the same team, and then D-Rich is with Vori, I believe.
If I had looked at the map for like 10 seconds longer before talking, I would have figured out that he's actually on a vehicle. He's actually on a car, not on a boat, and that would have been a silly thing for me to say. I figured it happen.
Well, it's because the colors are close to each other.
Have you seen Tum Tum and Cucaracha, though? They were not in the blue a second ago. Now they are in more blue than they are not in the blue.
Well, they're got to make the path. Again, this is just Miramar things, and there we go. We see Quarter Jade getting taken out by Bearju.
I'm
kind of looking around, making sure that there's nobody else. That's kind of one of the things. Whenever you're on this map and you get it down onto somebody, you're like, where is the other one?
You know he's got a buddy around somewhere.
But in this case, it looks like not the case. Quarter Jade was just all by her lonesome.
How often do you think it's a viable strat in these sort of situations to leave a player alive strategically to try to bait out their partner?
In duos, it can be quite strong. Like whenever you're dealing with squads, it's not quite as strong because you can get multiple flanks that encroach on you. But whenever there's just 2 of you, it becomes very stressful. The moment your teammate gets down, now all pressure shifts over to one other player.
Right.
They have to make the call. Do I go for the res? Do I go for a reposition if I have to get to a point where I can get to a res? Do I throw down smokes? Do I go for the 2v1? Everything just gets insurmountably more difficult for the remaining player. And then everything also kicks off on a timer. Because as a prime example, if you opt into not going for the res and the other team goes for a slow push, now you're stuck in a 2v1 and you could have potentially got off the res. If you go for a hard res, like just run straight at it, now you have to run through a hail of bullets where they know exactly where you're going to be, so increased chance in that. So
they know where you're going too, because they know where the down player is.
It all, in my opinion, it usually just comes down to circumstance more than anything else. I tend to enjoy leaving people just kind of sitting there for a second, but if I hear any shots next to me, the big factor inside of this is, remember, 4 points per kill.
Right, exactly.
You don't want to let anybody steal your kill.
So leaving the kill there to potentially bait in the player could possibly mean you don't get any kills. And finishing the kill, as we saw Bearju Live do.
Oh, there we go. We got the Murado rolling by. A couple of shots do connect, but it's the Murado. It's going to haul.
Yeah, Paradox going to try and take his shots, but not going to find anybody this time. Terran takes out Law in the kill feed.
That's somebody we haven't had a chance to talk too much about, and that's going to be Machine Gunner and Terran. They've been in a relationship for quite a while, streaming together, playing games. Naturally, Machine Gunner, again, played at PGI with unsigned team Trigger Happy. So fun to see them here. If you haven't had a chance to, they're a very, very interesting group to check out. And also, we've got Kefri, who's also probably a known commodity, very known for his sniper days in Widowmaker from back in Overwatch.
Gotta love the long-range snipes. Fishy Cakes just hit one and maybe get his perspective. If you go and clip it on his channel, we could watch it later. You got to just send it to us. You tweet it at us with the hashtag Broadcaster Royale. Some people in chat were like, "Yo, we can't post clips in chat. So why'd you do it this way?" First off, I don't know why you sound whiny like that. Second off, you're not supposed to put it in chat. You're supposed to put it on Twitter with the hashtag Broadcaster Royale. So that's how you do it.
I often think in my head, how does Twitch chat actually sound? That's the big question.
They're sitting there with a very posh accent saying, "I say, good sir."
I can see that.
Lovely headshot.
I can see that. Yeah.
That was a terrible accent. Don't clip that.
No, it's already done. You're done.
I'm not gonna lie. When I
be
saw
sure to add him as well.
When I saw your face for the first time, I'm like, that has to be how he talks. a beautiful mustache like that. He must be like, "Oh, jolly good show."
Jolly good show. Very good sir. Very good sir.
But then I found out you're from Texas, and I'm like, that's the next best thing.
Well, I even try my best to avoid the Texas accent as well. Otherwise, it'd be like, hey.
Just a little bit. If you start talking about barbecue, though, it's hard to avoid.
No, see, we can't go down this path.
Okay, back to Bears. Back to Bears and Jews and them being live on Twitch here.
Got to be careful about that, because I'm gonna say, I feel very nervous every single time I say his name, because I get the feeling like somebody's gonna be like, "We're gonna clip this" in a very horrible way.
Yeah, and it's just somehow like put it out of context and make you seem like a terrible person.
Oh yeah.
But no, he has chosen this life, and we will talk about him with the name that he chose. As you can see,
got the map popping up here, and so we can see Markstrom and Kuda making their way down. Markstrom actually used to be a caster for PUBG a long time ago.
Oh boy!
Remember, whenever it first came out, he was very involved with it, but leaned a little bit more into streaming naturally, and I think it's paid off pretty well for him. He's always had a very, very adamant crew that kind of participates with him, but still does do a lot of casting on his personal stream whenever he does customs.
Oh, Waffle getting shot up at the top there, getting pinched between Gmart and Fishy Cakes.
Looks like he's holding a position, kind of waiting for them to come down and through. Waffles are just kind of cutting out. This is kind of the Mad Maxi section of Miramar. Meanwhile, one of the guys you were talking about earlier before we moved into round, that's going to be Optic Karma.
Karma and Yogi Bear up there, very experienced gamers, up against Feral Wife and Paradox. Paradox also a bubble player of sorts, has done pretty well. Plays with Feral Wife a lot.
Oh, your person just got down.
Oh, man. Well, luckily we're watching my other person here, Feral Wife, but we'll cut away from her. Back to the Bear himself. I would love it if that head was animatronic of some sort.
I almost kind of like that it's not. I know, like, I mentioned it earlier that I thought it would be cool, but it's also just the fact I just want him to bounce his head a little bit to see if the mouth moves. He's under a little bit of pressures. You can see that he does get the kill on that, so the res doesn't have a chance to get through. So now it's a reverse poke battle. As people are looking different angles. Does see the head, but leans back down the very wrong second. Now it's just a matter of, do you push? Do you hold the angle? Where is the teammate at? Kind of have to see how his teammate goes for any form of position. Looks like he's on the back angle. Like the pre-fire on that. Trying to make sure to see if he's around that. Can't quite line up. He does see the motorcycle, though, so Anna opt into the nade. This could be a very dangerous angle if it does hit into the wall. But nope, going to let go through there. Might roll back down the hill a little bit.
I want to back off.
Sounds like.
Stable, dude.
Yeah, back off.
And yeah, you can see he's wanting to retreat out of it because he knows that it's a hard angle to try to hold, so his teammate's going to try to give him a little bit more cover.
Well, here's Holo spectating Fox. Holo actually downed in that last fight, but his teammate's still alive and still has an opportunity. And as you can see, he actually backed off. He's actually down probably around where the grenade actually exploded. He's able to back off the fight. Both players, both sides of that fight, disengaging, looking to fight another day. The kills are valuable, but there's also not too shabby amount of points for placement. So Quisha and Kirby Llama, this is probably about the furthest they've made it into this game.
Toxic.
They've been getting down pretty early, unfortunately.
Yeah, they've had a couple of rough landings, to say the least. That being said, we do have Squisha up and active this time around, and a pretty good spot. You can see that they're right ahead of the blue zone, so they're going to have a little bit of work cut out for them to have to run quite a ways, about a kilometer or so, and there are two duos in between them. But that being said, we are past the looting phase. That's kind of where they've been having a little bit of trouble, so this is going to be the point where he kind of unlocks them a little bit and allows them to go a little bit more crazy.
See many players still outside the circle and making their way in, but plenty of time to work with. Sheriff Eli still holding on tight.
The PUBG shuffle.
Yeah, you know that back and forth.
The PUBG shuffle. We all know the PUBG shuffle.
Yeah.
Can't stay stationary for too long, kind of move back and forth. You guys aren't familiar with it. Mainly, a lot of people like to step up and try to take shots and peek like how he's doing. And if you just kind of peek forward, you're just going, hey, everybody shoot me in the forehead, please.
You can't stand still for too long.
Just past the white.
Here I'm giving call-outs to his teammates. Okay. Get in again. You've been talking about a lot about the information and how important it is to gather that information. It doesn't mean you need to immediately act upon it. Just knowing where this player is more valuable than taking shots at him.
Well, specifically on Miramar, that's the trap. So many people get trapped by this, that they see somebody 700, 800 meters away, and they're going to take shots at it. Meanwhile, we're back over with Machine Gunner. Terran's already gotten down. Swiftdoor and Rye Gaming. Looks like Machine Gunner is on the second story. Terran gets knocked down, and that's just going to be requiring them to move out and forward. I believe that all of you guys are in the blue at the direct time, so they're going to have to try to jump out of this. Now that's going to allow Swiftdoor to kind of get into a position to hold an angle and just kind of wait for Gunner to have to move.
Right, they can just move into the circle that's constantly causing this timer, this pushing them, creating urgency. If they get inside the circle, they just turn back, wait for Machine Gunner that has to move into them.
I'm going to jump back to a topic we were just mentioning, which was the trap of Miramar, is whenever you take these long-range shots, specifically you have to remember you've got to get downs and kills. So sometimes you can get these shots off, but right now all you're doing, sure, you're getting a little bit of damage. Maybe you can knock off a helmet, maybe make them burn through some meds, something else like that. But it's going to be hard to capitalize and get both members of that duo down and killed off. So whenever you go loud like this, you can give away a position to teams that are way closer. So like that Bronco, you want to make sure you pepper that. That's one of you 100% shoot at. But once you decide to go loud, you have to be aware that so many other people can use these little crevices and sneaky trenches and all these other things to sneak up on your location and just pop off and kill you.
Yeah, the amount of times you can be in a house and you're just hanging out, and then all of a sudden you hear shots from a house over, and you had no idea that player was there, and all of a sudden you have information. The player on the other team has no idea you're there because you've been quiet.
Well, also, we have to remember, we're not in a matchmaking format. All these people play a ton of this game.
For sure.
So they're going to be aware, to, like, if somebody starts firing next to them, to try to use the gunfire to cover their footsteps and sneak in. And I just love to see the game played at this level.
Bear Jews Live's got a player pinned behind that rock there. But he's constantly looking for the flank from that Bronco.
Well, it's what you have to. That's the whole thing. Is like you can see that he's got the contained angle onto one, but where is the encroachment going to come on the other one? Because it looks like, from what I saw, that person in the Bronco did stop in the general vicinity next to them.
I'm going to try and find them here on the map. See Bear Jew Live. Now, it looks like they did keep moving.
The southern area of the circle looks like it could be fairly contested very quickly, as you can see that it's going to be Rich caught up in a little bit of a fight with Chumakara.
Oh,
is that how you
goes
say it?
Feral Wife out and dead. Ninja here, Ninja with no L, getting shot at from Boomsy, but also has Riot Gaming coming up on his backside. And Fox, the remaining player of the Holo Fox duo, successfully gotten away from an immediate engagement, but still in the rough situation of being the only player left.
I'm going to let you say his name because I murder it every single time.
This player, like Cucaracha?
Is it Cucaracha?
I believe so. Well, the cockroach.
Because I have no idea how to spell it.
Cucaracha. I mean, but I'm pretty sure that's it. I think you added an extra A just for the fun of it, because, you know, it's gamers.
We don't ever use extra letters or numbers for anything.
Definitely don't put X's on both sides of the gamer tag to make it look cooler.
No, I don't. That never happens. Looking at you, Xbox Live.
I played my Xbox Live gamer tag was randomly generated, and I just stuck with it for a long time until I eventually finally picked my own name.
There is a lot of casters that have that.
Yeah.
See, I'm just weird. I stole mine from a book.
Matchroom. Is there a good story behind it?
Way back in the day, we used to play like WoW and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know how whenever you played WoW before everybody was on Ventrilo and all that other stuff, you just always type the first 3 letters of somebody's name, say, hey, so-and-so, do this?
Yeah.
I just decided that I'd make it similar to my real name, which is Matt.
Okay.
And then I was trying to think of something else, and everything that I thought of that was related to Matt was taken. So I got very annoyed, and then just was like, oh, there's a character in a book that I was reading at the time, Wheel of Time.
Okay.
And just changed some spelling on it.
I like it.
That was it.
I
know, super long, very interesting story.
No, it's always cool. It's anything that's not just I just kept the username I came up with when I was 6 because I thought Cobra 151 sounded cool. You know, any name that's more complicated than that, I'm a fan of. Bear Jew's been taking a lot of those shots and he's hit like 3 of them.
Well,
but
we've got
very
a lot of
difficult
movement
shots,
around this area because naturally the circle has posted up. They're kind of defending their location at this point. You want to at least, even like there is something to be said about just taking the shots. Now the problem with it is, look at his ammo count. Slowly working his way down on his long-range weapon. Keep in mind, everybody's starting to get a little bit closer at this point, so he can make the switch over to the AR. But he starts getting a little nervous whenever you start getting down into that like 40 bullets left situation.
You don't want to run yourself dry and end up in a situation where you have to hit every headshot.
Because then it becomes a matter of you have to get the kills. Like naturally, there's an amount of control that can happen. Just taking these pot shots out, saying, "Hey, we're here. You don't come over here, otherwise we will hit you." Even if you take a couple of shots and you miss them and just hit enough to kind of scare them into a different path, that's buying you a little bit more space. The problem comes down to what happens when you run out of ammo and you can't do that anymore, and we're moving into that stage where everybody's going to try to be encroaching on top of them.
Well, speaking of ammunition, Cucaracha just found a great stockpile on a downed player. He's in good position right now with 200+ rounds, I think, on both of his guns.
That's the life to live.
Absolutely.
Got a quality backpack, level 3, so that way you can hold all of the ammo. It's all going to be about meds and survival at this stage. You can tell that since he's already lost his teammate, going to have to play this a little bit more passively, but it seems like he's aware that somebody's right next to him, so throwing the nades out. Popping back over here with Sniper King Biznap, Activator, and we also got Slade Kappa off in the distance, as well as Eli Thompson, who just got dropped. And Cucaracha actually did get a down off
another
of that.
one. He from the grenade. The player is playing so well right now. Biznap and Sniper King trying to get Activator's squad here, so there's just a lot of posturing. Nobody moving just yet. As the new circle comes in, it's not too far off from this group, so they'll be able to stall a little bit longer there down on the southernmost part of the map. But they do have Slade Kappa and his teammate in that same compound.
There's just so many people stacked here, and they now need to move just a little bit to the north. We're getting into the later stages, so the circle's starting to tick pretty hard at this point, so you don't want to take too much blue damage. Now it becomes about disengaging, and this is the problem inside of it, because if all these teams stay in that location, it's just mutually assured destruction. They're going to go loud, they're going to take too long, it's going to be hard for them to get out of there, so that's the problem, is at certain points inside of PUBG, it does reward passive play. Let's be real.
Even if you were to win in that compound, then you're going to be in a circle that's ticking hard, you don't have time to loot, and you're going to be in a very rough situation even if you get out of the blue.
So the problem comes into play is making that switch from passive into the aggressive plays or something, just making the action. Because at a certain point, you have to dictate the terms of what's happening around you. If you just always kind of let everybody else play their own game, then all you're ever doing is playing reaction. PUBG is a lot about reaction and adaptation, but you just can't let them set the point for it.
Sniper King holding this stairs. You know,
no sniping required this close.
He wants to push it, but he's just scared. If he just moved around, does he even know that Sniper's there? He has to know he's there, right?
Well, they can hear the footsteps back and forth. Throwing down the Molotov, buying himself a little bit of extra space. I like that. Like, no, you don't get to pick this angle anymore. Hey, I love this. Okay, look, he threw the Molotov down so that way he could go ahead and have some time to med without them running up the stairs. So that way with the blue coming in, he can take the damage just a little bit longer instead of being forced to hold that angle and then trying to med through it.
Now, Sniper King in the blue. Knows he needs to leave the window here.
Activator.
And that's going to be Activator down. Is going to be the Slav. Slav to Russian getting the kills. Sniper King, though.
But now he knows somebody was holding that angle. The only thing that you can pray at that point when you make that jump down is going, hey, hopefully they feel like they're safe because they just got that duo kill. Maybe I can sneak up into this. We'll come right back behind him. And given the fact that we haven't seen him in the kill feed, looks like he did manage to get away with it.
Well, so they're being sneaky so far. Kukaracha. He's gotten some good kills with some good grenades. Oh,
nice shots.
There we go. Finally, Bearju going to nail some players with the SKS.
No, they're not.
Getting a lot of control over the circle. I love it whenever you start seeing players start to jump around. That means the fact that they're trying to get a little bit more information, get some height advantage in there, get some more information, make sure to make the plays. A little bit of shots coming out there as we're seeing Biznap get Fozu down. And D-Rich looks like he's gotten taken down off the side of him. Right on the outside. Slade Kappa comes around. He didn't even see it. Biznap just gets destroyed in that.
Slade Kappa going to capitalize on that one. Knock out another player here. Only 11 teams left.
At this point, that's got to be the deadliest shack in this game. There's just smoke everywhere. There's bodies littering the floor all around the place. And then we got little Kukaracha back over there just seeing a little bit of plumes of smoke coming out of it and keeps hearing the gunfire like, no, that's fine. I'll just stay right where I'm at.
Whoever comes out, like, okay, cool. He's looking for Slade.
Like you can see, he just keeps speeding back down there.
Sniper King just took out Slade on the rotation out from that big compound we saw on the south. So maybe see Kukaracha versus Sniper King here in a second.
Looks like everything's starting to calm down around that shack to a certain degree now. As actually, we do see Kukaracha taking a couple of pot shots at Sniper King. Kukaracha is right over there next to the edge of the circle.
And who's the player on the easternmost edge there that's just hiding?
That's Kukaracha.
The Jeremiah Enigma?
Oh, Ambush Eugene?
Ambush Eugene, yes. Hiding. He's been nearby all of this competition, all of this gunfire, and just been hiding the whole time. Fox here on your screen also going for a similar strat of just hiding his way to victory. He's going to have to make his way into the new circle, but once you're alone...
right next to him, though.
Oh, my goodness.
You can't really quite see it on the map, but just to the west of his position, I'm talking maybe 10 meters or so, going to be in that right over there next to him. So if they have to go for a reposition as they wait this long, you can see the circle's about to switch over. They're going to have to make a run for it, and they're going to end up popping up roughly the same time because they're moving so, like, they're being so patient about this.
This is come down to just quick reactions. Up there you can see them, Toxins. Yep. They're basically looking at each other too.
There's a little bit of a hill decline there, so they're just kind of at this point you might be able to hear slight movements, like somebody's like making some switches or maybe like having some meds or something like that. But nobody's getting up and running around, so nobody's giving away their positions. But it looks like they got caught into a little bit of a firefight earlier, based off of the way that they're playing around this.
Sure,
they seem to have beads right on each other.
There's Kaylee and Rainbow Kids down on the southern edge.
Doing slow increase. Uh-oh, stepping around the outside, and that's going to be all she wrote for Toxin. Fox does get, Fox? That's what we decided, I guess?
Yes.
Fox does get the kill onto that, so you can see a little bit of smile on his face. He's like, yes, I got the kill. Now I'm just going to make it inside the circle. Meanwhile, Bearju Live post up very nicely inside the circle. Got a little bit of control points that they can play around. Kind of playing around the shack. I often like to say that the shack, you don't choose the shack life. Shack life chooses you.
It's
You're
just the only
forced
option.
into it. Yeah. As you can see that at Miramar, they can end up a little bit deadly.
So far, he's been playing it well. He's been able to successfully pin the other players behind their more open cover.
And making him burn utility. Look at how much stuff Kefri's had to burn through there, and barely alive as he drops down. But that's so many smokes that they're going to have to burn just to make it inside the safe zone. So now if another reposition comes through, How much do they have left becomes the real question, because if they know exactly where they are, you can see Bear just keeps looking back over that way. They burned through a lot of their utility. Do they have enough for another reposition, or do they just have to play to RNG so that the circle comes to them?
Cucaracha is popping off right now. He's been just blowing up the kill feed, playing by himself. His teammate died a while ago, and he doesn't care. Not playing the hide-and-to-win game, just playing for frags.
Well, he's just kind of holding down his spot. He's kind of like planted his flag and is like, this is my home.
Yep.
And everybody just kind of keeps walking up to him, and he's like, no, this is mine. You can't have it.
Now down to the top 6, 9 players left. We got Fox alive. We have Bearju live in squad. We have Cucaracha and some other players down on the bottom of the map as well.
Jeffrey and Basic still up and alive. We've got
there's Slav Russian and Grizzly Mallard and Sniper King hiding on the edge as well. Everybody needing to move in. Nobody currently inside the circle, so probably see a lot of flanking rotations, a lot of people moving kind of counterclockwise and clockwise around, not necessarily running straight in.
Now, we do have a point that we can talk about where it's going to be Slav the Russian and Grizzly Mallard. I like this. They're aware of how this map is playing. You can see that there's going to be a little bit of a decline going out in front of them. So if they can get up to the top of these hills and get some form of control around this area, everybody else is going to have to move into a low ground position, and they'll have one of the cover pieces that's available just due to the angles, because there's not a lot of cover still left inside of this next circle.
Looks like they found Cucaracha as he was trying to pull in. We'll see if he watch the kill feed, see who wins that engagement, see if he's able to make it past.
Get towards that orange building.
Well, he has a lot of defensive places that he can play around. Speaking of, we can see that Bearju and its duo partner are going to have to step forward a little bit. They're finally going to have to leave their home, and they are aware that there was a duo they were taking pot shots at. So this is that information thing again. So they know that there's somebody that's going to be somewhere to their north and is going to have to encroach right next to him based off the way the safe circle's positioned. So now they have to find a right place to play it and make sure not to over-peak, because then they can just be shot down at any given moment.
Oh, he finds a player, takes some shots at him.
Nice shots.
Able to put in a lot of damage, but no secure on the down there.
I believe that was Grizzly Mallard. No, Grizzly. No.
Grizzly's on his team.
Yeah.
It might have been Fox. I'm not sure. We'll see. We'll see. Eventually, that player will go down. They do have the Bronco here. Do you think taking this cover with them is a good idea?
At this point, and if there's no cover left inside the circle, hop in it, move forward, blow it up, so that way nobody else can blow it up, and now you've got yourself a piece of cover to play around.
For sure.
But you have the hills and the way that these trees are lined up that could make it a little bit more difficult. I think just getting some level of control over this area is key. And so playing around specifically like this watering facility that they have posted up, they're being so patient with this. They know that there's a duo there. The problem with it is the fact that with our eye in the sky, we know that they've already repositioned and are safely inside the circle at the direct time.
We'll see. They're about to have to move. Circle's about to be on top of them.
About to hear that little sound effect whenever it hits you.
You want to go ahead and
They have a rough idea on the location. Well, we got Fox slowly managed to creep over. Looks like he was the guy who was taking a brunt of those bullets from beforehand, but did manage to get his meds back up. Still holding on to all of his armor and helmets. Cucaracha's still alive as well.
He's enjoying the company of a nice blue tractor. He's found so unfortunately, you can't drive that one.
And I think we're kind of looking around. I think it was Sniper King that finally just did get dropped off. So new circle is about to pop up, and it's going to move down to the south. So with this, Sniper King is down, and as you can see, Cucaracha is still holding that angle. Finally going to have to make his way a little bit closer. But Grizzly Mallard and Slav the Russian do have control over the circle, and everybody has to come to them. Now, it's going to be a downhill approach, so that means the fact that the guys coming from the top, if they hit any high angles, can get some nice headshots on the guys at the bottom that are waiting and holding the circle. But they have so much control over this location right now, that's going to be hard to pull off.
We've seen them do this a few times, too, where they space out considerably and then look in different directions. Very confident in their individual ability, not feeling that they have to stay too close, have to hold hands too much. They're playing for the win here. Only 7 alive, and Hades gets some grenade kills. Look at that. I think he downed 2 people with that grenade.
Got a kill. I got a down and a kill off of it, so a mini red zone going off there. So Bearju has gone down, so making a slow encroach out. Now it drops us down to 5 at the time. So you can hear the firefight that's happening out in front of him. That's going to drop us down to 4 as Fox goes down.
Hades here, Cucaracha, Grizzly Mallard, and Slav the Russian are remaining players.
So this is what it's going to come down. We've got Grizzly Mallard and Slav the Russian holding the center of the circle. We've got 2 solos that are on both outside flanks. If either one of these solos can make some type of play, we might see this unlock. The problem is if any one of them just pops up one at a time, then that means that these duos are going to be able to spin and outgun them. So it's all going to come down to positioning, awareness, and acting. The moment you hear another gunfight, you have to make sure you do something with it.
Fox disappointed in his own performance. Cucaracha's pushing in. He's gotten Slav the Russian down. He gets the kill. Where's his
going to drop us down to a 1v1v1, and he gets control over a terrain point, so he has a little bit of cover. Nades are now starting to come out. Hades gets down on the other one, so I have to see how this plays. Well, actually, I think that we warped in time just a little bit.
We did. We're going back in time a little bit.
So now we're back into a 1v1. So we've got Hades holding down one angle. Looks like he's doing a northern flank, which could position him right in a great spot to sneak back behind Kukuracha. Kukuracha takes a little bit of damage to do a big battle, but look, Kukuracha just coming up with so many kills in this game.
Look at that. Thank you.
Kills.
Congratulations on the win. What a play. Holy cow. The win and 10 kills. His teammate, TumTum, died early in this game. And he just kept finding kills, kept taking them all the way in, and gets the win. Congratulations, Mim.
Mim. Is it MYM or Mim?
What do you think it stands for?
I'm just MYM TumTum? Meet Your Makers?
See, the thing is, I think the Mim in TumTum's name is just maybe their team name.
Meet Your Makers, I think?
Meet Your Makers, is that it? Okay.
I'm going to take a wild guess. I don't know who's
presently
playing for Meet Your Makers at the time.
I'm down for that. But my goodness, that's definitely the highest kill win we've seen from a squad today. I would be surprised if that's not the case. And holy crap, that was impressive. Guys.
He's a one-man army inside the game.
Absolutely. And he had to move from the outside of the circle. That final circle was kind of, Fox didn't have as far to go, or Hades didn't have as far to go. Kukuracha had to come crashing in, gets the 2 down, and he's going to need to take a bath after how dirty he played there, folks. He'll need the Spa Day crate that you can get with Twitch Prime. Get all sorts of lovely hygienic products here, all in that lovely shade of purple.
Oh, yes. Gotta match what's going on with the stat here. And I gotta say, okay, do you run the female character or the male character?
I run the female character.
It's important.
I run the male character in real life, so, you know.
All cosmetic characters look better on the female character.
Yep.
So with this, you can get that cool skin.
But you can wear a towel skirt on either character.
And this is important. So whenever you're parachuting down, you can see where you get these very odd angles.
It's great. It's lots of fun. It's definitely some people's favorite part of the game. Folks, it's been awesome. We are 4 games in now, I believe, and we've got 1 more here for North America. You won't want to miss it. It'll be pretty intense. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have more Broadcast Royale.
Royale, presented by Twitch Prime. You guys, we're nearing the end. Oh my gosh.
One more round.
One more round.
I know.
But first, let us watch the replay.
Let us see what happens inside the last round, build us into this final point. So with this, we've got a lot of stuff that's been going down. This is essentially the round that's going to decide who moves forward into the regional qualifiers that are going to be happening next week. There's got a lot of people inside the point board right now. So a couple of them are pretty close. So it's going to be really interesting to see what all comes out of this. We've got a couple of people who have been constantly performing, showing up on our replays on a regular basis.
They are, actually, yes, because week 1, they were scattered. They were kind of all over the place, and this time we've been seeing a lot of repeat players just slaying it out there on the fields. So let's take a look. Speaking of slaying.
All right, we've got this position going over here with, it's going to be Halifax and Visions. It's going to fight that we saw early on. Pokélolo goes down early, but it's just going to be Amelia that gets the kills onto it. Kukaracha coming through, getting a res onto him, and that's going to probably be one of his first of 10 kills coming through this. Meanwhile, we've got Bearju finishing off Quarter Jade, making sure that she doesn't make her way up the leaderboards too far. And these long-range shots, just trying to pepper it. Remember, look at his amount of ammo he has left at this point, still leaning into it and taking the shots there. We got Activator getting taken down on the outside. We still have the rush and letting them get into a good position. And again, coming back over here with Bearju, doing a nice job holding down that location. Beautiful spray coming up there, getting the down on the Toxin. That leads us into our top 4. As you can see, Slav the Russian gets taken down by Kukaracha, steps forward and gets the kill. That puts us into an essential 1v1. It's going to be Hades holding this outside angle, gets the spray, hits a little bit of damage, goes for a return peek and gets taken down by Kukaracha.
Couldn't make it though, but again,
So
speaking another team right there, Slav and Grizzly just making it up to the top 5 easily. They're like, it's another day, baby. Let's bring it on. But right now, you guys, we want to remind you once again to send us your clips. Use the hashtag Broadcaster Royale, tweet it out. A clip from here, a clip from your favorite streamer, what have you. Yeah.
Tell us who's going to win, too. We're in the last round. Surely you have to have some favorites at this point. Come on, let us know who you think is going to come out with this.
Absolutely. And then, of course, you guys, I mean, we need to make sure that you know this and understand that you need to relax sometimes and head to the spa, a.k.a. Spa Day Crate, via your Twitch Prime membership. If you don't have it, what are you doing with life?
Look at the box itself, too. It's just such a pleasant box. Like, it's like you can open it up, you can tell that there's going to be comfy stuff inside.
It's very pretty wrapping for sure. And I'm impressed that all of that fits in there. That's
This
not more
is true.
impressive.
That's a lot of stuff to fit into that little bitty box there.
Yeah, it is. But hey, it's all in there and it's free for you. Twitch.tv/Prime. If you do not have it, go ahead and sign up for free right now.
Now, one thing I did want to talk about in the last round is whenever we got down into that final 4. We talked about the fact that there was a duo that was holding down the center point, and they pushed out 2 different angles, and then there was 2 solos. Naturally, the duo knows that, okay, there's 2 people. Is it a solo or is it a duo? They don't know. The solos know, okay, there's 3 people. How's this going to play out? So it's all about a matter of gaining information at that point. And you have to make sure that you use whatever information is available to you. So you saw that the moment a firefight happened and one person got downed inside the kill feed is the moment that Hades popped up and was active. Because you can pay attention to the kill feed, it shows downs versus kills. So once he saw a down there, he knew it became a 1v1v1 and then stepped forward, got the other side of it, and that turned into a 1v1. Paying attention to that type of information can really, really help you if you're playing through your matchmaking games or for any of the streamers that are watching inside of every bit of that is so important. And it's just little things like, oh, well, I have 4 people alive. How does that help me too much? Paying attention to the kill feed coupled with that, perfect.
Absolutely. That's why throughout the stream, if you're unfamiliar with how PUBG is played, you'll hear the players saying a lot, instant. That was an instant. And what they're meaning is that kill, that player never went down. They were instantly killed, which meant that was the last player of the duo squad and that was probably a free area now once they've taken that last guy out. Yeah. And they can keep making their moves to get more kills. 4 points per kill. Really, really important on this game in this tournament.
Speaking of kills, we're going to come back over into a kill fest. That is
right. What'd you call it before? You called it Murder Fest or Murder Town.
Murder Town. Murder Island? I don't know. One of these things. There's just so many different cool points to play around. We did that little pass by, I guess it was like that, I don't know, vineyard or whatever that you can see there. It's got like the tree that's in the middle of it and all the vines everywhere. That place doesn't get a lot of attention, but I always thought it looked really cool.
Yeah, the loot there is kind of all right. It's not, it's on top, it's on bottom, it's random.
For being Sandlock and being all right, you just don't go there.
Yeah, it's the bond.
Coming through with a plane path. Plane path doesn't terribly matter inside of this map because you can kind of go wherever you want. It's all going to be about a decision on how the next circle forces a lot of these guys to move. So we're coming through. Coming over with Cryptodope and Boomsy.
Wait, okay.
Wait, okay.
That's it.
Yeah, that's what we were saying. Boomsy, where?
Mega Nerd and
Ava JJ coming in hot.
so with this, still got the little tag back behind it. I always love the fact that the banner is back behind the plane for PG. I don't know. I always thought that was kind of cool.
No, I do. I like the banner. It's a great way to show us and keep you informed on PUBG information. Speaking of information, you know, just giving it to you in all ways. And on top of your parachutes as well. Check that out.
So many little fun things inside of this, and so we've got Grip It Up and Boomsy making sure to wait for quite a while. Like, I always love to see how different people play different parts. Like, we were talking a second ago, and Kogas beforehand was just like, no, I'm gonna just jump as soon as I can to find the edges of the map. And you got other people that are like, no, we wait till the very last second, and then we go back and reposition. It's always interesting to see different personalities and different play styles come into this game.
Absolutely. I mean, it really depends on how confident you are with your shots, right? The more confident players that know that they can land those shots, know exactly the bullet trajectories and the drops, they're going to be
Paradise. Speaking of
roaming.
confident drops, dropping
right?
Paradise. It's pretty confident there. It's like, no, I'm gonna go for some fights early. But unfortunately, nobody actually dropped next to him, so they get a ton of loot all for themselves.
They got really lucky. I mean, that's everyone else probably avoided it simply because, you know, it's Paradise, it's super hot. But why it's always hot typically is because it has so much loot. And it's just in the open. You don't have to waste time opening doors if you don't want to.
And so many fun angles to play around too.
Yeah.
It's not like like with school. Sometimes you can kind of get caught in these like weird fights across like walls and hallways and stuff like that. A lot of this is a lot more opened up, and with like these like stairwells that you can play on the outside of it. Uh-oh, sounds like somebody spotted someone. Did I hear him say it was a guy?
I don't have anything. We can back up. We can back up to these houses if you want.
Oh,
No,
they're
no.
probably just,
I was talking loot.
calling out loot,
Oh,
yeah.
I couldn't find anything. Maybe that's what he said. Because
right.
now they're complaining about loot. That happens every once in a
Well,
while.
they should have went to Paradise.
I know.
You know?
Come down. Make it get feisty. Get
Paradise
involved.
Resort. Here we are, right here. Look at that level 2 vest. Getting all the good. This is literally my favorite place to land.
Never shot one of these before.
See, I like coming here. My problem with it is I always feel like unlucky because anytime I drop on the spot, I always like land and it's like, oh, cool, I got like an AR, and while I'm in the process of reloading it, all of a sudden somebody runs around with an auto shotty or a vector, and I'm like, oh, well,
what's it called?
Okay.
Gotta be quick, Matrim.
Yeah, this is true. I'll be honest. I do need to loot a little bit faster sometimes.
She's already got SKS, QBZ, Vector. It's all. The world has her oyster right there. She has whatever she wants.
Wow,
Right
we
in
got
the quarry.
Quindor and Gmart hanging out inside the quarry over here. Yeah, this is an elusively good place to loot. The problem with it is you got to do a lot of climbing for it. So it's like you have to jump up on top of all these rocks, but there are these little, I guess, carved bricks. What would you call
blocks.
these? Are they
Cement
blocks? Cement blocks, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you see there's a lot of construction happening. Looks like they were trying to build maybe a tower.
That's a quarry, so aren't they carved blocks? Aren't they like
Yeah.
sandstone or something
I
like
don't
that? I don't know. So some geologist that's going to be inside Twitch chat will correct us, because I always thought it was weird because look at all the like cliffside around it. It's got all the red sand. So I'm always assuming that's sandstone.
Yeah, right. And it's like literally in that moment, I just saw the water and the vastness and how serene it felt, and I was immediately taken to the spa day crate, literally.
I would hang out in Quarry and Spa Day.
Yeah,
Crate.
you
know,
need
it's
your
just
little
nice
purple
and
flip
relaxing.
flops, flopping around in that little water.
Ooh, I don't know how that would be because those are like fluffy and
One
stuff
of them
like
is
that.
fuzzy. There's 2 sets in the Twitch Prime Spa Day crates. You get a fuzzy pair and you get a regular pair. That regular pair, you could be flopping around in that mud.
See, that would be fine, but like the fuzzy ones down
Yeah.
inside that mud just feels like no. Like you'd spend the whole rest of the game just like, oh, what's wrong with my feet?
It's super draggy.
All right, so it looks like Gmart's getting moved to an aggressive position. See Arlaw positioned over there, as well as teammate Not Cavaliers.
The cave, right outside the cave.
Good. Let's go, dude.
Meanwhile, we have I guess I can't say winners of boot camp because nobody really fought for them inside of boot camp. So that does happen quite a bit in competitive. Specifically in the last rounds, everybody's kind of playing for points, playing for positioning. So seeing a very explosive early game, not all that common inside this because everybody really wants to make sure that they're playing for points and good standings on the leaderboard because let's be honest, everybody wants to go to regionals. They want to go to the LAN. And one thing I do want to point out, because I keep seeing Twitch chat talk about it. Oh, where's so-and-so? Where's so-and-so? Guys, there are going to be multiple other things that are happening inside of this, as well as some wildcard invites. So we've got the regionals that are going on that are going to be next week. Right now we're doing the invitationals. And tomorrow we've got the open brackets that are going to be coming through. So a lot of different options for people to make their way up and through this and get active inside of the LAN that's going to be happening in, I think, 3 weeks.
I believe you're right. It's the end of the month.
We have another one next week, and then we have 2 weeks off for getting ready for the LAN. And oh, Gmart with a push just comes right back up behind Arlaw and shoots him down.
Yikes. Gmart and Krender and a couple other two squad. Sorry, 2 guys, 1 squad, running through. Oh no, their partner gets down. They heard the shots. They got third partied.
It's going to be Kylie off in the distance, duo partner. That's going to be a hard res. You can see bullets now starting to come through the window as well. Krendor is trying to feed a little bit of information. Looks like he's behind a rock face, but actually I think Kylie's just off to what would be the eastern part over next to that hillside.
Yeah, I was literally about to say that these two tend to make it a little bit into the later game, but here they are going down really early. Gmart really needs to try to get his teammate up, but it doesn't look like he's going to have an opportunity to do that.
It looks like he wants to go for it, but running across that road is so dangerous. That's a wide out in the open. There's no cover points. Your teammate just got knocked right next to a rock, so you know that people around here have to have pretty decent aim at least. So I think at this point, you just got to say, Krendor, buddy, I love you, but I'm going to carry on without you.
I'm going to go survive.
I'm going to survive.
I'm just going to go find out how to survive.
This is kind of like one of those Titanic moments where it's like Krendor's on, like hanging on to the side of the door.
No. Why are you trying to make me cry now?
Potentially he could survive, but nah, just push him off. One of us needs to live.
Probably not.
See,
he's getting him up.
He's going to get it.
He got him.
Oh
my gosh, they're so in the open. Oh, wow, the luck is real. Look, Caliverse is just kind of like, I don't know.
Like, that's a really...
That's who killed them.
Yeah.
So that means that Gmart managed to get the kills onto it.
By how she died.
Doesn't make any sense.
Yikes.
Oh, hey, Krendor, we're going to come back over here to Krendor being knocked out by Kukaracha.
Oh, goodness.
Kukaracha already making some kills inside of this, wanting to do a repeat of his last round where he got 10 kills all position.
Gosh, after all of that, he got his teammate up. Gmart got his teammate up, only to get got by another third party again every time.
Well, at least it was Krendor that went down, because he probably didn't have time to get meds and anything else like that, so it was probably just a one-tap to drop him. It would have been very problematic if they focused in on Gmart first, got Gmart down, and then Krendor was running with no life.
Again? Absolutely.
Plus, he was going to bleed out pretty quickly after on a second knock. Shot comes out here, and I believe that we're over here with Rich, because I saw the Wildcard Gaming pop
Moxie.
up. This is Moxie? Okay,
yeah.
it's Moxie.
Who was Moxie? Oh!
Taking a couple of pot shots here. As you can see, Vision's positioned back over here right behind the rock. And look what he's wearing.
The spot.
I know.
Keep him at the rock.
Chat's going to be like, okay, we get it. But that's okay. You're going to get it. This is the way it's going to happen. Nice jump playing along the tree line, being aware of positioning around them, going for the reposition there. Kind of dangerous, though. You can see all the blood splatters coming through.
Oh, goodness.
I was going to be all sure. I'm willing to bet the person we were just watching just died.
Yikes. Well, hey, guys, why don't we go ahead and take a look at our EU standings, the top 20 from the last region. That was...
Oh, this is
these are the
North
current standings for us. Oh!
This is current standings for North America.
My goodness, even better.
So we got Honey Badger Nation holding up that top spot with 781 points. Look at that, almost 72 points ahead of Aztec Gaming coming back there.
That is a solid lead.
25 points back behind that. We've got Dude, Where's My Car? I love the pun inside of that.
Oh, I see.
Ambush falling right back behind that. 1 point difference. 1 point difference. 1 kill can separate those guys. So Basic is carrying me. I'm willing to bet it's going to be the team that has Basic on it. It's going to be about 15 points, or 13 points back behind that. And about 40 points, we've got Desync and then Team Nani.
Team Nani?
Nani?
My question mark?
Nani? Sorry,
Team
Interweeb is coming out.
And Mim working their way up with that last win. Up the leaderboard. But that's great, because you only need to be in the top 20 to make it to the regionals next weekend to fight the previous 20 from the first week.
One of us killed right now.
Invitationals.
Picked off, so.
Got Bearju over here positioning, trying to get a little bit more information. I like playing along this coastline area, just because there's so many like high points that you can kind of get to in these little crevices inside the rocks that you could just drop down into if anybody actually starts pushing on you. Halifax looks like he's already gone down early, so it's going to put all the pressure onto Visions to perform inside this round.
Someone was just running away. I never saw anyone at the rock. It was like they were running away from the shot.
Ooh, and that's good. He was making calls to kind of pinpoint essentially that there was could be another team that they were running from.
I always like to stop and listen in every once in a while. And some players just play like beaded in. Like you can see right now, just look at this. He's just like focused. He's like, all right,
Moxie and Trinity, they're probably just already in each other's minds. They know.
They've got that mind link going on. Take the shots. Meanwhile, popping back over here with the Spartan Show. Strong for performances in the last couple of rounds.
Here, take this. Shasha.
Shasha.
Shasha. Got Loyal Patriot down there, which looks like he was wanting to try to get over to his teammate who has been down. We got Sequisha and Curvy Llama making a push down. So it's all going to be pressure on the Loyal Patriot, taking a little bit of damage. Sequisha going for an outside flank position while Curvy Llama is just trying to hold him and make sure that he can't make it over to his teammate. Now just a hard push coming through there, very nicely paid by that. Now I've got a question for you.
Yes,
what
sir?
What is a Curvy Llama?
Is
that like a busty llama?
Oh gosh, maybe.
I don't know. Like I'm very curious about how a llama becomes curvy. Is it just like the head and neck situation, or like what?
You know, you stumped me.
Every single time I see Curvy Llama, this is the question. These are the things that go through my brain.
Well, that was great. Sequisha got a kill. Fantastic. Because they've been having a little unlucky situation going down kind of early game.
Poor Sequisha.
They
can have a couple of rough rounds there,
yeah.
but they've been performing last round, making their way through. You know, the fact that chat's definitely loving the Sequisha mustache. So, because there was the conversation that was happening earlier about which mustache in PUBG was the strongest. And I thought that some people might lean in and Doc, but no, it was predominantly like, no, Sequisha wins this, and there is no debate on it. So you've won me, chat. I'll agree. I was fairly neutral in it, but you guys' rationales and the things that you threw up, I'm with you. Sequisha wins best mustache.
Absolutely.
Why is it so loud?
Why is it so loud?
The loudest flies in the world.
Was he calling out the plane? What?
I think so. Maybe.
There's like
sounded like the loudest supplies.
These are just called loud flies.
Oh, loud flies. Yeah, that's one of the things about this map. Like the flies are around and they just make that little buzzing sound next to you.
The most tilting experience because I know exactly what he means. They are so loud. You're next to them and they're literally going bzz, bzz, bzz in your ears.
That doesn't bother me as much as way back in the day there was still a car sound inside the background noises of a triangle, if you remember.
Oh, yeah.
And so you just be sitting there and every once in a while you just kind of hear what sounded like a car drive by and be like,
right.
No. Okay, was that a car? Was that the background sounds?
Well, the good thing is that that's not a thing anymore.
This is true.
The flies are a real thing now. And
hey.
I literally do want to just swat the air IRL, and I can't escape them. Because if you're going to hold the position down and you've got those bugs flying around you, they're taking away all your senses of being able to hear and get a gauge of where this person is around you. Oh, yeah.
Bearju taking down Mega Nerd there. Nice, solid shots coming through. Going to make its way back into the safe zone. 50 people alive at this point. Got a lot of people. Looks like they're making their way inside the safe zone right now. And not too many people as outliers. That's why we kind of keep popping inside the safe zones right now. Looks like most people have fairly easy paths to come through.
Yeah, everyone's playing really passive. It's the last map. Everyone knows that this is it. They've got to do this. If you're not on the top. Oh!
Golf just getting torn apart there. Moxie makes a push up the stairs. It doesn't even matter because you can see teammate was already on approach on the outside, could just instantly drop him to go with it. But there is also another player that's inside of boot camp as well. And I'm trying to see.
Yeah, Moxie was like, uncontested at boot camp, I said.
Darn, man.
Used adrenaline surge there, so gonna stack back up. What kind of music is he listening to?
We don't have to go. I don't know if those are the real lyrics.
Oh! Steps out the doorway, and it looks like we found the other player.
Take him out.
Needing a little bit of information, going for window peeks. Things. Make sure to hold. Yeah, it gets kind of dangerous. You can see he's kind of doing a little tweak back and forth because if you do a hard push one way or the other on these peaks, there's a little bit of a peeker's advantage that does happen inside of PUBG sometimes based off of ping relationships. So you got to be really, really careful with it.
Stay alive, stay alive. We don't need it. We don't have to push this. Like we can get a pick.
But you do because we're watching.
Nah. He's making the right call. It's aggressive, and there's a chance that one of their teammates could get down and killed. They can just go for the pick and placement locations because they are on the southern part of boot camp, and most likely the circle will shift towards either the center or the south. But
that was just me, wanting
to
bring the action.
You want him.
Yeah.
I know it.
I want to see what they can push themselves, the limits, that they could push themselves to. So Quisha over here feeling a little confident, it seems, with that R98.
Got some control. Does see a teammate tries to does see an enemy tries to line it up. Doesn't quite connect. A little bit of a lead going astray there. But they're running away from him, so at least lets them have control over that location. Meanwhile, we're coming over here with Toxin and Clumsy. They're holding a very tight angle on this doorway. Seems like they're aware somebody's on that hillside right next to them, and they don't want to overpeak it. And a little bit of peeks back and forth. Now popping up onto the hillside itself. It's going to be Moderus. Making a push up. So now we've got the map showing you kind of what's all going down. New circle has popped, and yes, it's going to go just a little bit south of boot camp. A lot of people on the western approach from this circle, so you can see everybody's still kind of, a couple people still caught out in the blue. Got Curvy Llama in a fight right down below him. I know that those are kind of similar in color, but Squeesh is actually his teammate, so not. So it's going to be Karm that's holding this upper area. Meanwhile, Eli Thompson's going for an outside flank. We also do have Slade Kappa encroaching inside of this fight, so we have 4 different duos all caught up in this location. And it's going to be Slade Kappa that's coming alive. Going to get the down onto Curvy Llama, but with this, now everything's starting to get a little bit more active.
¿Nos aguantamos o ya nos vamos?
So they can hear a lot of this action that's happening up on the hillside. Not wanting to participate in it, but trying to make sure that nobody encroaches onto their safe zone.
They've got a really particular situation here at hand because that bridge, they've got to move into the circle. It's not the closest. And there's gunfire all around them. This rotation out of this compound is going to be really difficult.
Nice shots coming through there, but Clumsy goes down as well. This puts him all pressure onto Toxin. He still has to make his way into the safe zone, so this is going to be a risky call. Looks like he was going for the smokes for a second. I think he's just going to opt into doing a hard run across. Goes with the jump and a little bit of fancy feet, trying to line up the next shot onto it. You can see a little bit of exchange going back and forth. Decides that he's going to make the switch over to the different scope settings. Blue is coming in now. This is a really risky res, as it's going to be one inside the blue. Could have some other people encroaching on him.
Yes, he had to make the decision. Is it better for me to have the advantage of my teammate with me? Do I take out, get the kills, 4 points per kill, go alone into the next circle? He chose to pick up his teammate.
He does get res on that.
He got lucky. They didn't push down on him. The other team just went around. They too were scared.
Maiden, looks like they were kind of worried about taking a little bit too much damage from the blue and pushed away from them across the road. Usually whenever you get somebody caught in a road position like that, you want to try to capitalize on it. So surprised that both of those guys managed to make it out of that fairly okay, but they're going to be right next to each other. But they all still have to cross and make their way across the river after this, so it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out for some of these guys.
Let's go.
But we're going to pop back over right smack dab in the middle of the safe zone. It's going to be Cropadope and Boomsy.
I like that name, Cropadope.
Cropadope.
I wonder where that came from, what it comes from, and what it represents. Oh, wait,
alliteration.
It's Cropadope. No, okay, it's the font at the top. I thought that was a double D.
And now we're popping back over with Slav the Russian and Grizzly Mallard, who've been having a very good day today. Getting a lot of kills, a lot of good positions as well, coming out with some pretty decent standings.
Absolutely. They've been dominating with the sniper, AR combo. Slav has been really dominant on being able to just get those range shots.
Although they're going to like, why is there a bus here? Fishy Cakes killed you with friendly fire. No.
Oh, no.
I love how the Kappa just comes across the screen as it goes through.
Oh, yikes.
Oh, feels bad.
Final round.
Fishy Cake still up and alive, though. Does manage to get a kill on not that Will Smith. So we're going to have a little bit of control in this area. A new safe zone has popped down just below them, so they're going to have to make their way through. Got a kill on not that Kill Smith. And Fishy Cakes riding in his boat.
For the win, Fishy. You can do this.
Oh, are you making the call saying this is how it's going to go, Fishy Cakes? 28 alive.
I'm just giving him
You're
the
calling
energy.
your shot right now. So circle hard shift all over to the east side. So these guys are kind of fighting in these buildings down below. Going to be caught into a little bit of a skirmish. So we can see it's going to be one person getting down, trying to do the crawl off. Not going to make it. Scrope it up. Does get knocked and killed. Tell he's not necessarily pleased about that. Is that a Pikachu in the background?
It is. It's the cap, I believe. Pikachu hat. Oh, they changed the layout.
It looks like one of them is dead.
Oh, I see.
So now they lean into just one perspective.
Nice.
That's pretty well done. I'm venturing to say that this is a Canadian stream.
Look at that support, though. She's like, baby, you gotta do this.
Oh, Kefri doing the slow crawl right next to Slade Kappa. So Grand Pooh Bear looking in that direction. They're gonna have to move a little bit. Grand Pooh Bear with no helmet.
Oh,
got the
God,
Afro
no
rock in
helmet,
full
yeah.
effect. Way off in the distance, you can see Moxie also moving. Fishy Cakes, who we were watching just a second ago. Kefri hears the footsteps next to him, so is afraid to move forward. But the problem with that is there are a lot of duos moving around this location.
And this circle is going to start to peel away a pretty good amount on that health bar. So coming in late, yes, in order to make sure that nobody sees you or is behind you to take you out, but it's at the risk of coming in with a deficit of health.
Fishy Cake's not quite inside the safe zone yet. Gonna have to move a little bit more forward.
Oh, shit.
Don't do it. Don't do it. You don't want to do it.
Oh! Yeah, his face does it all. He's like, oh.
You literally, whenever you see a crazy. Your mind just zeroes in on that, and then all you can do is, do I get it? Do I get it? I want to get it.
And just to make it over here, get the level 3s this late in the game, 12 people alive. That's absolutely insane. Also gets a suppressor for a DMR and a sniper rifle. Just go ahead and toss that on there, and a med kit. Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Moxie's
You want to talk about
geared up.
recipes for success right there.
Right.
Southwest.
And Moxie and that Trinity, they've been playing excellently this entire day, so that will only up their game even that much more. They're going to be a fierce takedown.
I just hid behind the rock.
Grand Pooh Bear wishes he probably had that level 3 helmet right now. Still rocking nothing. And the head firefight starting to happen. Drops us down to 10. We still have the Russians going to be taking out the Devil James. Firefight's now starting to come more their direction here. Bullets starting to cascade around them. They still need to make their way down the hillside. Nowhere really to go. Kefri's taking a lot of blue damage, but right back behind Moxie at this point. Going to choose to follow it. He's starting to take a lot of damage, and this is a long run. I think that this might be kind of hard. He's going to have to drop back down here in a second and just med. He's just going to be chain medding at this point. Once this connects in, that's going to be real rough for Kefri. Should be able to time this one to get it off, though.
Yeah.
But, yeah, he can't even move anymore. It's
There's
just
no
essentially
way.
going to be timing it.
Yeah, essentially, now he's going to just continue healing up to try to get placement and hope that everyone else gets taken out and that he doesn't get taken by the blue before maybe 5 more players can drop? Question mark? That's what he's hoping.
Playing for position.
Yep.
Meanwhile, you can see Moxie making
need
a
to
hard
get-
approach through here. Still have the Russian and Grizzly Mallard do have control over the circle at the direct time.
Like I
You know,
said,
there is that road
get
that's
in the
going
shit.
through it and a lot of open space. What happens when you stand still like that, it's going to be very, very dangerous, and that's going to be Skim going down to get control over this little building inside of it. Meanwhile, back over here with Moxie doing a push on the outside of the circle. Wanting to try to figure out if he's going to go for it. You can hear a teammate calling, saying, no, play for position. Just go get back inside the circle. So he's going to be able to do that. Getting us down to about 7, 1 bleeding out. And it's going to be Kefri that gets taken down now as well. Pot shots as it's just a matter of defending the location. Now, you can see that it's going to be a lot of control happening right now for them. Grizzly Mallard does go down, though. Can potentially crawl back over to this building. Shot goes a little bit wide. Trying to line up. Goes for the spray. Connects once, twice. Just not quite enough to get the down and the kill onto it. So now Moxie kind of playing right inside this location. Slade Kappa right back behind him. See, unlikely neighbors at this point.
Yeah, a really good position, though, because he's going to be able to come in and have some high ground if he rotates a little bit more to 12 o'clock. He's going to wait until he hears any movement around him, because at this point, with 5 other people around in this small space, he's bound to hear some sort of footsteps somewhere or a shot fired maybe by someone else to get some information.
What we've got going on right now is we have these 2 solos right next to each
Oh,
other. Slade
gosh.
Kappa just walks back around and gets just destroyed. Moxie's still alive. That drops us down to 5. Right? But he gets all the attention brought his way, and this drops us down to a 2v2. It's going to be Fozu and Quarter Jade going up against Slav the Russian, taking a couple of pot shots. We see Moxie going back in time a little bit. We see him get knocked down. So now repositioning, going out to these outer rocks. So it is a 2v2 at the direct time. Going for a spray around the outside. That drops it down to a 2v1, essentially. This is going to be a hard res to go and get. Spray's coming back and forth. Now knows exactly where it's at, pushing for an outside, but Grizzly Mallard does get dropped, pushing us into a 1v1, but Slav the Russian manages to connect and get the kills.
Congratulations. Wow, 8 kills.
Go back and res your friend.
That's
Game's
right.
over. It's fine. Hey, finally got the win. You know, I'm feeling good about it. Honey Badger Nation coming in through there. And remember, these were the guys that were at the top of the leaderboard moving into this. Now they're just going to shoot, make so much more distance inside of that. So, Slav the Russian, Grizzly Mallard, great performance.
Yeah, then as you'll notice, he just said, finally we win, but they were at the top of the leaderboard pretty much most of the day, and that is due to those kills that they got. You saw that was, oh gosh, was that
8?
8? Yeah, 8. And that's going to be an immense help. Doesn't matter. They've got it in the bag, that top place. But, however, you only need 20 to make it in to the regionals, which is next weekend. It's going to be amazing to beat and go up against the 20 that made it out of week 1 in the invitationals there as well.
And so with that, that's going to be our last round. But let's do a quick recap back on what happened inside that round. Kind of catch a quick look at all the cool plays coming through here. Bearju Live steps up, gets the kill onto D-Rich, popping back and staying with him. I gotta say, he had a very active round this time, also getting the kill onto Mega Nerd. Meanwhile, Goff just gets caught right on a push, almost gets it down onto Moxie, but we still have that Trinity back behind him. Meanwhile, Bearju again, still being active, alive, gets the kill onto Visions, then gonna follow us up as he approaches, running on the outside. You can see running off in the hillside, gets killed based off of that, and that's how we saw him drop out. Nice spray coming through here as Not Will Smith gets taken down. Pushes us into our top 10 in these sprays coming back and forth, very close range. Everybody's starting to play around different rocks. I love that push coming out there, and now here comes the final kill. It's going to be pushing around the outside in the 1v1, just going to hit it.